Hey, Doom. Wait 1 second.
Personality. This excessive pride and confidence in his own abilities manifest when Light begins using the Death Note. His sense of justice is twisted by the powers of the Death Note. His excessive self-confidence and inflated
Okay, but hear me out. He was right.
The criminal justice system is flawed. He determines the world to be rotten. With the aid of the Death Note, Light aims to rid the world of scum. Criminals who get away with little to no punishment are exactly who Light aims to rid the world of. His ambitions lead to him wanting to fulfill his dream of a new world, free of criminals and injustice, and those who he deems worthy to live will survive. Once this ambition is fulfilled, Light will become the self-proclaimed god of the new world. A different perspective on morality and justice is front-run by the detective L.
Hey, yo, fuck that
On first
nigga.
glance, L appears to be very messy and disorganized, but his disheveled appearance is incredibly deceptive. Despite his appearance, L is in fact very intelligent. His abilities are called into question by people who have the privilege of meeting him. L is a highly skilled detective. His deductive reasoning skills are second to none. To protect his identity, L uses several aliases. He has solved multiple investigations which were thought to be unsolvable. He became a detective at a young age and very quickly earned the reputation as the world's greatest detective. L second guesses everything he is presented with, making him very meticulous and analytical. One of the many tactics that L uses is misinformation and misdirection. He often gives his suspects a false sense of security, letting them become careless and overconfident, falsely revealing to them that he suspects them the least culpable, when in fact he is almost certain that they are guilty.
Oh, there it is.
Both share a strong sense of
What?
justice. While
I say I couldn't hear you.
Lights have been corrupted by the powers of the Death Note. Ryuk is the Shinigami or God of Death, who dropped the Death Note into the human world. He hoped for someone to save him. He does this after becoming bored with his uneventful life in the Shinigami realm. When Light picks up the Death Note and uses it to rid the world of injustice, this experience finds Light very interesting, particularly the way that Light manipulates the fixed rules of the Death Note into his own favor. Light even discovers abilities of the Death Note that Ryuk did not even know existed. When it comes to Ryuk's stance on what Light
See,
is doing,
I thought you were about to say something about me and my video essays.
Light's political battle with L, nor does he care about how Light chooses to use the Death Note. He does not assist Light in any way. He even goes as far as to withhold information from Light and only thinks of assisting Light if it benefits him. Ryuk doesn't care if Light lives or dies. He is just an observer, simply there to relieve his boredom. Despite being intelligent, Ryuk is easily manipulated by Light. He does this through Ryuk's love for apples. Ryuk compares his addiction to apples like that of a human who is addicted to cigarettes and alcohol. After L deduces that Kira resides within Japan, he forms the Japanese task force who work with L to investigate the Kira case. Soichiro Yagami, Light's father, leads the task force. The other members who work with L are Watari, who is L's assistant, Matsuda, Nogi, Ukita, Aizawa.
No, Watari is just Japanese Alfred.
Purposefully that nobody feels out of place. Each person plays a role within the greater story. It also does an excellent job of giving characters with smaller roles enough depth to keep you invested into them. Death Note discusses some serious moral themes, whether if it is right to kill someone without allowing them time to repent or redeem themselves. Wouldn't the person killing the evildoers become evil themselves, even if their intentions are good? Light believes he is capable of this monumental task of passing judgment onto others, thinking that if he kills all the evil in this world, it will result in a more lawful society. However, Ryuk says something to Light which really resonates with me whenever I go back and watch the series. He says if Light was to kill all the evildoers in this world, then that would leave Light as the only evildoer
Come get this head, boy.
The conflicting morality that Light's twisted ideology presents is fascinating. How someone so intelligent and full of promise was able to be corrupted and have his sense of justice warped through obtaining power via the Death Note. It is totally delusional that Light thinks he can decide if someone is deserving of life or not. Despite them doing wrong in the life they have lived, who is Light to decide if they have beyond redemption? Being a series
Light is the true hero. That's who is to decide.
It features a lot of symbolism and even some biblical references and imagery, especially within the anime. Color is also used within the anime to emphasize the differing ideologies of Light and L. Light is colored with a red overtone whenever he has evil intentions. The color red psychologically evokes feelings of rage and anger. Personally, I also think of the red coloring on Light to symbolize the blood that is on Light's hands, after all the people that he has killed. Light is contrasted with L, who appears with blue overtone. The color blue evoking feelings of calmness and relaxation. Wisdom and tranquility is also associated with the color blue. These are both qualities that L embodies. The blue is a harsh and obvious clash against Light's red. L has good intentions, which are represented by the color blue, while Light has evil intentions, which are emphasized by the color red. Prior to using the Death Note, I always see Light as what he is, an intelligent young boy who is coming to grips with the world that he is living in. It saddens me when I see the innocent and bright-eyed Light change. The red color quickly takes over him as he begins using the Death Note. It emphasizes the corruption, and his eyes begin to have a red gleam. The innocent boy with good intentions is no more. He is now a false god with a corrupt ideology. What a jump in personality and character. The complex story of Death Note.
What's false about Light, though?
The anime adaptation improves upon its source material by including complementary symbolism and historical references. The anime is also accompanied with a soundtrack which complements the characters and the story so well. Each character who is central to the plot has their own theme song. Through the tone and tempo of the music, it incredibly matches the personality of the characters. For example, Light has two themes. The first theme is called Light's Theme. This song has a tone of innocence and high tempo. It sounds optimistic and hopeful. Funnily enough, this song is played during Light's moments as a student, when he is trying to deceive someone into thinking he is a hardworking, conscientious student, and not Kira. His second theme is titled Kira's Theme. Light's true self is Kira, so this theme has a lower tone. It sounds sinister. It has none of the hopeful sound of his first theme. The anime is excellently scored. There are multiple examples of purposeful composing within each of the characters' themes. The music of Death Note has been a consistent addition to studying for this. It really does evoke feelings of intelligence and being lost in analytical thought. Even with all of this praise, Death Note is not free from having some flaws. In my opinion, Death Note takes a dip in quality at the halfway mark of the series. There is a noticeable decline. The original intent was to only have the series run for half of its length. The duo of Takeshi Obata and Tsugumi Okada were convinced to continue the story due to the increasing popularity of Death Note during its serialization.
Why didn't you listen?
A clear-cut direction when it comes to its story that it establishes. Instead, it follows a sequence of mind games played out one after the other, with the story and characterization taking the hit as a result. However, this was totally intentional.
Because the time for listening has passed.
Entertaining mind games of the series, which kept the series fun and engaging by
Peace is never an option.
ideological aspects of the series. He made sure that Death Note was not bogged down by these aspects. He does say that if Death Note was serialized and targeted to mature audiences,
The time we're talking has passed.
The series doesn't let character development. Light's character development is seen from mind games that he plays with L, how they become even more sinister and riskier. In mind games, you see his initial good intentions become ego. He goes from a conscientious student to a psychopath. You even learn a lot about L's character that is devastated through the questionable risks that he takes when he sets up his own psychological
Are they, though?
Does that not fall into this category? In my opinion, absolutely not. Aside from the minor nitpicks I mentioned earlier, for me,
Now the only problem is I don't know enough.
I have tried to remain concise and as spoiler-free as possible. I assume most
You don't get enough this move, bro.
will have already seen that, but on the off chance you have not, then I hope that this series that it is worth your time. Even if you've seen that, it's been a while, and I ask you to visit the series.
Yeah, it's gonna get these niggas off my island.
Whenever I go back and rewatch this.
You got the wrong one, nigga. Shit. Don't bet for your life now, Navi. We stopped being friends. You turned on me the first time. Listen, old man. I don't got time for your lectures. This honor shit done. Your way ain't getting these niggas off this island. Me not being the ghost is not gonna get these niggas off my island, cuz.
This man.
Because Switch never got it initially.
What are you talking about? Oof, good luck. That requirement was annoying. That was one of the more annoying things about getting Harley's legendary.
Nah, see, them Persona fans don't know.
What?
They don't know. Cause someone's complaining about ever since the SMT Nocturne and SMT5 announcement.
Look, I don't even got time to listen.
Talking about some of the SMT versus Persona wars that started again. I'm like,
I don't
no.
understand it, but whatever.
Nah, the SMT versus Persona War is from these quote unquote fans who've never played the game.
Look, I've said my piece on if people haven't played
He's got
the
a whole.
I see. No, I hit the table. Oh my god.
But my problem is SMT's been primarily Nintendo for the longest time, so
I just don't understand. Nope.
while Persona's always been primarily PlayStation, Persona only got an extra console when they released Golden on PC.
Yeah, I seen something about that. Why did
The word midnight makes me mad now.
Why?
That shit pissed me the fuck off.
Oh, Monster Hunter updated.
I need to, do that festival.
No, what are you supposed to do? Come here, sir. No, okay. Someone went down here.
If I'm disgraced, why y'all still call me Lord though?
Not sure how that works.
Nigga. Honor. Shit, me. I gave that shit a long time ago when I killed the boss in Metal Gear Solid 3. I already proved I have no honor. But I'm saving y'all niggas' lives. By being a dickhead. Hey yo, these niggas shooting at my horse, cuh. These niggas shot a whole arrow at my horse. I should kill all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey yo, cuh, we need to take these arrows off our horse's butt, bruh.
Chase with me, I see.
Got me fucked up.
What?
Why Twitch so boring today? Like,
It just been playing for the longest time.
I don't think Mac's streaming tonight, cause I know that nigga was mad Bored. I know. I'm glad I didn't even watch the thing. I'm glad I went and ran errands instead.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm surprised they didn't show nothing for Hellboy. That's what tripped me out because
I mean, what can they show?
an actual trailer.
Like, besides story stuff, really?
That's what I'm talking about. I figured they would have showed like at least something else. Well, wait, no. How long has it been since they announced it?
It's been a good while.
Okay, then yeah, I'm just surprised because of that being one of their big exclusives.
What's it? What is Sarah out here popping off about?
I don't know. There's a lot going on.
Hey, yo, these niggas killed my horse, dog. I might steal one of these niggas' horses then.
Where did these people go?
Oh, I have to sneak by here?
Sounds fun.
Well, that makes no sense. I don't have swords or a knife or nothing. Since, you know, that's quote unquote dishonorable. Shut up, old man. Future is now, old man. Oh god.
What?
I farted, that's what. Also, did you watch that girl's live?
Yeah. I did, cause I told her I was creeping the whole time.
I didn't click on it. I watched that joke like while it auto played in my feed.
She done put Nair in that girl's shampoo.
Oh god. Oh no. She gonna come to the house bald. Come back mad and bald.
Well, like, she was talking about her the whole time and she never came out her room one time.
Oh, I know.
Like,
What killed me is that part where she said something. Because I guess she said something about them breaking her mouth or something while the officer was there. And she was like, I did not say that. Jesus Christ. In my head, like, you kinda did on Facebook, though.
oh, she did, but...
But like I said, she
sorry
brought
to
that
say,
on herself.
She might have it coming.
Shit,
If Monica don't
brought...
do it, someone else will.
Like I said, let me catch old boy in the street.
And she said she put nails on her tires. I don't know if she actually did, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Monica, the goal is to get her to leave your house. You can't.
No, but now I'm not so surprised, really, because, someone else, someone else we went to school with said that she wasn't surprised. She figured something was gonna happen. Not
Did y'all
dramatically,
all
no
go to
one
school to
guessed.
that girl or something?
I remember her. I was never friends with her, though.
Or that Lindsay girl?
Yeah. Like, I probably talked to her in elementary school, but I was never really friends with her. But no, this other girl, Lexi, that we went to school with, said something in the comments about her. I'm just like, oh. But I guess, I feel like Monica was gonna kick her out anyway, because she wasn't paying her rent and junk. She quit her job, apparently.
How the fuck these niggas saw me? I'm all the way over here.
I think his might be easy to get by, I'm not sure though. I think Doom has it. Or somebody does.
You think poison's gonna work on me? I've been poisoned since I was 3 years old.
That's for teabagging me, clown. So, for that, you get a trap on your head.
You got the pertinent replay speeds at the time.
Unfortunately, no. I use it on y'all.
You need to use it on these clowns.
I know, I don't have it though. Oh, I don't know why I was thinking you did. And the other people escaped, so...
So you dead for real, cuh.
Look,
One closed application.
Cola Chris. The other person that was trying to kill Rage Quit. So.
One Piece is 20 years old.
Ah, okay.
Imagine being excited for Fable. A remake of the first one at that. And the only good one was the second one.
Couldn't be me. I could care less about anything they showed.
That showcase was hot ass, cuh. That whole showcase is one of my farts.
That's what everyone was saying. It's like I wasn't gonna watch it anyway, so I was trying to see Comic-Con stuff, but nothing really exciting for that either. Other than apparently they're trying to put New Mutants in theaters still, and then supposedly it's going on Disney Plus in September. So I don't know.
Man, look,
I feel like they should just
Just
pop it on a streaming service at this point, honestly. That
that's
Mulan,
something
because apparently they took that off the release schedule.
they put. Yeah, but they got Avatar 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on that bit. Don't nobody want that shit.
No, I know, but they have, yeah, they literally, like, they did what they did with Tenet for Mulan, and so it's delayed indefinitely, so I think they know it's not gonna make as much money in a theater, so I think they need to just put it on Disney Plus. Because they've delayed it like 3 times already. Ah, see, I just have the girls' legendaries.
I just
Yeah,
think James Cameron to shut the fuck up and do Alita too, cause
I can't say I'm surprised. That's like, but now I'm scared for Black Widow. But yeah, I'd much rather have a sequel to Alita than any Avatar movies, because the thing is, like,
and my thing
there's
is
4 of them. No, there's 4. There's 4 of them in the works. Apparently.
5, yeah, 4 of them in the works. Cause that first one's already out, and then this man wants to do fucking 4 sequels to the first movie.
I don't. No offense to anyone that actually likes that movie, but I don't see how that's gonna work. Like,
I don't care. Avatar's ass. That movie was ass.
I mean, I can't even sit through it now. It's so long.
I thought the movie was ass when I watched it the first time. I think the movie was ass when I watched it the second time.
I thought it was decent. It wasn't all what that it was hyped up to be when it came out.
I didn't give myself up. Everyone who followed me protected someone.
But yeah.
It would have been a massacre. Just like the time I wanted.
I don't know, because the thing is, though, is that now they're unsure about Wonder Woman's release date too. So if they have to change that, they probably will end up delaying it. That's why I'm worried about it. What, Wonder Woman was?
I don't need no assurance forgiveness.
Because I didn't see about it getting delayed indefinitely. I just know they said they weren't sure if it was going to meet the, what was it, October release date now? Yeah, it's set for October. Yep, I keep up with these things. I care less
I
about
mean,
Tenet.
DC Universe might get canned anyway.
Yeah, this,
Because they're putting everything on HBO.
we'll see if they have to. I mean, it's gonna suck if they have to do it, because Wonder Woman makes a lot of money in theaters, but they could put that on HBO Max. If they have to.
Safest approach to the temple might be well.
They're putting pretty much all the shows off there on there, so.
They're putting everything on there. Because they're real deal about to get rid of DC Universe.
I mean, honestly, that's fine with me, because they're putting Harley on there in August, so. I guess that's when we're watching season 2.
Yeah, and the people that are probably expendable anyway, so it really don't matter.
Look, I know it's terrible, but at this rate, like, I'm just rating myself. And I don't
As
go
it should
nowhere.
be.
So,
As it should be.
because I guarantee a lot of them are ones that didn't listen, for one. I mean, there's some that probably you know. But it is what it is.
What's good? Tubby.
But yeah, because I
Nobody
know,
calls me Tubby.
like I said, they said that AMC Theaters is delaying their reopening, so there's that.
Okay, so my new card came, so I can pre-order my Steelbook. Next check.
What, for My Hero?
Yep. Even I'm buying the movie twice, I guess. I got My Hero pre-ordered. I got Yakuza pre-ordered. And then I got Digimon pre-ordered. Give me a whole bottle of liquor for when that one come out.
You'll be alright.
I'm gonna be a mess. When them niggas said when you grow up you lose your Digimon, I felt that. Finally watched the last 2 Try movies today.
I figured, you know, when you said you were watching Digimon.
Man, look. I'm mad. I want that new Omnimon.
Yeah, I seen that. That's crazy. I just don't go anywhere, so that's the only reason I'm not really.
But did he wash his hands though?
Maybe.
It's just because you wear a mask don't mean you can't catch it if you don't wash your hands. Nah, fuck that standoff shit, nigga.
You wanna go back on the foot?
Oh, don't be crawling now. Oh, ain't no running away from me. Where this nigga T at?
I don't know. Supposedly a lot here in Florida have, but I don't even know. Like, because I have yet to know somebody that actually has it. Or has had it.
I know people who've had it, and I'm just like, eh. They can stay away from me, cuz.
I'm just saying, nobody that I know has gotten it.
And they hit that, and they was like me. I said, guess what, boy? I said 14 days off, boy.
Yeah, I ain't surprised about that, honestly. Oh my goodness, Billy.
Well, Ukiora can wipe y'all off the map anyway, so it really don't matter. That man can nuke a small country. I honestly feel like if Grimjaw wasn't a character, he'd be my favorite, just because he could do that.
I mean, there's about one person that I wish would just get it. I'm going with that.
No, that's too easy.
You're right. I just want something to happen to him. Honestly, I don't care.
I'm taking all that.
But I'm assuming she pressed charges anyway.
Hey, oh bitch ass nigga.
Nah. Because once you mess with a friend of mine, there's no sympathy. Yeah, I think she did. Cause I mean, I don't know for sure if her son was there, but I think he might have been. So that's another thing.
Nah, from what it sounds like, nephew was there. So
I'm talking about, like, because it happened the night before last. So I don't know if he was.
I'm stuck on the fact my man's asleep through all that mess yesterday.
Who? Oh,
Leo.
Yeah. He said he was doing none of that.
He said, I ain't dealing with none of that shit, boy.
I'm just stuck on the fact that Lindsay talking about something she didn't want to leave, but that's Monica's house.
I don't want to leave, but you should have thought about that.
So you invited some studio over there.
Oh, raggedy ass. Raggedy ass bitch.
Yeah, that's who I was talking about.
I'm just gonna let him kill the hostages, because I wanted my standoff.
Because that's by far, like, my oldest friend, so... Yeah. I'm good, Billy. How are you?
Armorers can upgrade. Well, I ain't got one yet. I need to upgrade this ghost armor. Shit, whack. This ain't black.
What?
This armor's brown. This ain't black. I need to upgrade it for it to be black. Y'all bugging.
Oh no. Where'd the body go? Oh, over here.
Yeah, I ain't got no damn darts.
Dang it. Okay, I don't know.
Oh no, they saw me. Oh no.
awfully quiet.
You about to gurgle, my boy.
Yeah, Doom got a busy weekend, though. Oh, I heard someone mess up something.
These hands.
Oh, whoever had... I don't know who disappeared, so...
Always playing Tatsunoko versus Capcom. I don't want to watch that shit unless y'all put that shit on PS4 or something.
I don't know what that is.
Another Capcom versus game. They're actually mad fun. But it's a Wii exclusive. Oh my goodness, what's going on?
What?
Just trying to watch me another video essay. Got me fucked up. I need to know what this guy feels about the Hellverse. And I don't need Naruto niggas making videos about Bleach no more.
Why?
Because they be mad biased.
Hellverse, or Hell Chapter. It is directed by Nobuyuki Abe and features character designs from Masashi Kudo, the same creative
Listen, Naruto fans are
previous
losers.
movies and the anime series. In this video, I want to cover the story told within the movie, as well as what the strengths and weaknesses of Bleach's final animated film are. If it is as good as the other movies.
Well, it didn't have 30 of them like Naruto did. I'm upset though.
Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications.
Why?
The character analysis he's doing next week is the worst one. But I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Following this trend, the creator of Bleach, Taiteku announces overseeing production for the Bleach movie. Once the movie had released, the credit of executive director was given to Kubo, but there was some controversy regarding this, which I will cover later. Hellverse released in Japanese theaters on December 4th, 2010, while episode 299 aired on TV. This movie had a few promotional tie-ins, including episode 299, which was a prologue to the movie. Kubo even released a special Hellverse chapter titled Imaginary Number 1, The Unforgiven. The special prologue tells the story of the Espadas, Aranyaro, and Zaizal Apollo arriving in Hell. This movie featured a lot more promotion than just simply changing the anime's opening intro to feature some movie scenes, which was the case with the prior three movies. Being a fan at the time, I remember there being a lot of hype for this movie to release. The concept of Hell was brought up first and only in episode 5, when Ichigo defeated the Hollow, or Shrika, who is then sent to Hell when we see the gates of Hell for the first and only time in the series. How these gates were portrayed definitely left an impression on me when I first got into the Bleach anime. Remembering the appearance of them, I can recall how sinister it looked, with the skeleton on either side of its doors, as well as the menacing laughter which can be heard as the gates open to take the Hollow Shrika. It was a brief glimpse into one of the
that would make
darkest aspects
sense.
of the Bleach universe, and was compelling to see so early on in the series. How is Hell depicted in this fourth movie installment? Is it as sinister as what early Bleach?
Oh, that wasn't even fair. He got lucky. No, I went to go cut him down because I jumped at him. And he shot an arrow as I jumped.
I know, but they all escaped.
Investigates some strange goings on. When Ichigo confronts them and questions them, neither Rukia or Renji reveal much about what it is that they are investigating. Shortly after, while Ichigo and the others are at school, they are attacked by a group of powerful masked individuals. When one of the strangers' masks breaks during their battle with Ichigo and the others, it causes the gates of Hell to appear. A guardian of Hell called a Kushinaga comes out of the gate to snap this mysterious masked person. The Kushinaga drag him back to Hell. We learn that the masked men are sinners who usually reside in Hell. They cover their faces so as not to be dragged
I have
back
enough to
there.
buy another killer or two now, but I'm gonna wait.
I could have slaughtered that nigga.
informs him that Rukia is attempting to stop Shuren.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take this L so I can do that.
Help Rukia and to stop Shuren,
Right.
but then a stranger appears,
Slaughter that nigga.
who helps Ichigo by retrieving Karen from Shuren's possession. But they are unable to stop Shuren from leaving with Yuzu, who is taken to hell by her kidnappers. It appears that Shuren and his men require Ichigo's assistance so that they can fulfill their one wish to be released from hell. Kokuto then suggests that he can help Ichigo by showing him the path to hell. Ichigo, accompanied by Uryu, Rukia, and Renji, agrees to Kokuto's offer of help. We learn that Kokuto is also from hell, so what are his reasons to help Ichigo and the others? Ichigo's primary concern is that if Yuzu is not saved from hell, then she will die there, due to its incredibly poisonous atmosphere. Rukia and Renji are the only ones among our familiar cast of characters who know what hell actually entails. It is described as a place where souls go to when they are not given permission to cross over to the Soul Society. This happens when a person has committed unforgivable acts during their lifetime. We learn that the dwellers of hell are bound by chains, unable to ever escape their eternal fate. This description alone was a great way to build up the anticipation
That's
and
old.
experience how it is depicted
Who's Damien?
Yeah.
also explains that he is held on because he doesn't like Shuren.
Kokoro to stick to see if she's
Doesn't.
alive.
She's alright. She just moved.
However, questions and asks.
I need to get a stick to put to Jala to check on him every time he's sleeping like that. And we're eating dinner.
That's what I'm saying. He was straight sleep. He didn't even wake up when Rufus got extra sleep.
Questions how they can just trust Kokuto as he could be anyone, but Ichigo insists.
And usually, you know, he's right there.
Despite all of the caution and apprehension, Ichigo's 2 seconds of shonen headstrong attitude convinces everyone to go along with Kokuto's offer of help. I guess we don't explain if something were to hypothetically go wrong later on. It is reassuring to hear Rukia tell Renji about a sort of plan to emergency escape from hell if things were to go wrong. Not saying that they will, but you never know who to trust. Arriving in hell, they rush through to get to Yuzu as quickly as possible, while battling one of the many Kushinaga who try to capture them. While Ichigo is fighting them off, his hollow mask appears without him summoning it. He unleashes a incredibly powerful Deska Tensho, which causes the others to scold him, as he could have hurt them with the amount of power that was released. Ichigo is surprised by this until Kokuto explains that in hell an individual's true power is easier to harness, hence why Ichigo lost control and his mask appeared without him summoning it. Kokuto also explains that if the Kushinaga catch any of them, then they will be trapped within hell for eternity and will be subjected to torture by the Kushinaga. They consume sinners who are killed and then are forced to be reborn into the lower level of hell, where if they are caught again, then they will be consumed once more as the cycle of death and rebirth repeats endlessly until their willpower is non-existent and their physical body reduces to dust. Shuren's underlings make another appearance as the group makes
Don't disrespect me like that ever again, Google Play Store.
What happened?
Talking about something. You should buy the Invisible Man. Oh. I was gonna say, oh, y'all are selling the Bleach Netflix movie?
Possibly. I can't do it on this map, though.
Ichigo learns that Kokuto is concerned about his sister because of what Kokuto mentioned earlier about selling his soul to darkness to protect what he cherishes. Ichigo assumes that this someone he cherished was related to him.
Even though now I know
his sister once, but she died due
one of the exes.
older brother. Kokuto then makes Ichigo promise to him that he will save his sister. I guess this guy isn't so bad anymore. I can totally see myself wholeheartedly trusting him. I mean, he had a younger sister too. He knows how it feels like. He can't be that bad, even if he is a dweller of hell, I presume. Back to Renji and the others, they systematically...
Dude, he lives in hell. You think I'm gonna believe a nigga that lives in hell?
That after they save Yuzu, if Ichigo could break his chain so that he could come back and apologize to his sister, Ichigo agrees to help him to be freed from hell. I guess if Ichigo is convinced to trust Kokuto, then people might doubt him. But wait, how does Kokuto know Ichigo has a power that can break the chains of hell? He asked Ichigo for his help before Shuren even had a chance to explain how Ichigo could help them to be freed from hell. This is very suspicious. Finally arriving in front of Shuren, he demands that Ichigo destroys the gates of hell, believing it will save the sinners. He blackmails him, saying he won't hand Yuzu over until he does as he says. Refusing to accept his terms, Ichigo battles Shuren and his men, along with Kokuto. Kokuto sacrifices himself to defeat Shuren's minions. So he turned out to be a great guy who could have been trusted from the beginning of the movie. I feel so bad for doubting him now. Ichigo then becomes enraged and defeats Shuren through using its hollow master amplifies its power within hell. Before being defeated, Shuren explains that it is Ichigo's hollow powers which can destroy the gates of hell. Then in a shocking turn of events, as Ichigo is about to rush towards Yuzu, he is impaled through the chest by Kokuto's blade. Yeah, I was totally being sarcastic about Kokuto being trustworthy. This was the most obvious plot twist in the history of plot twists. I mean, how are you going to trust a guy?
He's alright. I'm just trying to figure out why he hangs out with me, you know.
As it is revealed that Kokuto lured Ichigo into hell so that he could use Ichigo's hollow abilities to break the chains that are bound to his body, keeping him in hell. I mean, why did he do this if Ichigo agreed to help him break his chains as long as Yuzu was saved? Let's see what he has to say for himself. I sure hope it isn't anything cliche. Kokuto proceeds to spout out cliche backstabbing villain dialogue. He explains that Ichigo now needs to hollow body to help him out as he promised. We learn that Kokuto did indeed have a sister. He murdered the people responsible for the death of his sister, but it didn't bring his sister back to life, no matter how much he had hoped that it would have. He then decided to make others experience the same pain he was going through as a form of revenge. I don't understand completely what he means here. Did he become a murderer and kill others senselessly, hoping that their relatives could feel the same pain as he does? Or was he sent to hell because he murdered the people responsible for the killing of his sister? I suppose either way he is in hell for murdering people. He continues to explain that one day he saw Ichigo as a Vassal Lord battling Ulquiorra through the barriers of hell, and learned that his power could be used to free him from hell. It was at this point in the movie where the story took a huge nosedive for me. I mean, how
I think that's the only movie that's canon.
What?
That Hellverse.
There is no way for the events of this movie to occur.
Because that one's the only one that's referencing manga chapters.
It's difficult to believe what is going on because they linked back the plot of this movie to the plot of the series.
And then
really ruined it for me. He continues on to anger
Kokuto references his fight with Ulquiorra, because he was a Vasto Lorde when, you know, Ulquiorra nuked a small town, a small country.
I'm pretty sure he did. I guess there ain't no way.
I mean, we don't know that for sure because of the fact that we were in Hueco Mundo.
I'm just saying, I have a feeling he did. Like, I just know.
He probably killed a good chunk of hollows just chilling, you know. They're probably just chilling, and out of nowhere, his move hit him, and then they died. They were trying to become Vasto Lordes, and then they died.
Make the situation worse than what it was. The head captain is referring to the broken gates of hell releasing their poisonous atmosphere into the human world now. As if Ichigo didn't have enough reasons to be devastated, the head captain is literally kicking him while he is down. Of course, he feels bad about putting the human world in danger, as well as not being able to save his sister, Yuzu. While Ichigo is sat with a lifeless Yuzu, Byakuya arrives to speak with Ichigo. This is a great interaction between the two of them, as Byakuya questions why he won't look at it while he is speaking to him. Ichigo understandably cannot face him, while knowing he left Renji, Rukia, and Uryu behind in hell. Their sacrifice appears to have been in vain, as it was too late for Yuzu. Byakuya reminds him that he needs to consider the meaning of why they stayed behind to let him escape. Just as he says this, Yuzu remarkably makes a recovery as a body begins to level him in the air and the chains of hell on the body disappear. I don't understand how this happens, nor is it explained. Just Yuzu is brought back to life. Maybe they wanted to get on with the next act and save the others trapped in hell already. Yuzu is healed and brought back to Kurosaki Clinic, where Ichigo sits and contemplates on Byakuya's words. I really love the color palette during this scene. I mean, the intense emotions on Ichigo's face. You can really see just how much he is lost in thought. It honestly is one of my favorite scenes.
Man, look, Ichigo is one of my favorite shonen protagonists.
So after taking a sweet time, Ichigo finally heads back to hell. His head out the gates as a distraction to slip by the Shinigami who are guarding the gates of hell.
Grimjaw's just a better Vegeta, don't at me.
Is that Renji and Rukia's bodies are rotting away in hell, while Rukia has already been reborn into sin. This is really brutal and so hard to see. Rukia is covered in the chains of hell. Reassuringly, we know that Ichigo can break hell's chains with the hollow powers, so it doesn't really raise the stakes during this final battle. However, seeing Rukia being reborn from burning hot lava and the decomposing bodies of Renji and Uryu,
They got Johnson a new reaction image to use.
Oh god, I'm scared.
as he taunts Ichigo with his hollow powers, as without gets knocked around and badly beaten by this overpowered sinner. We don't really know why he is so strong, and how he was able to defeat Rukia Renji and Uyu against one. And how on earth is he absolutely screwed Bankai Ichigo? Ichigo stops himself from holofying as the Kushinaga sense Ichigo's incredible release of Reiatsu and what. Suddenly, in the 10th plot twist in this movie, we see that the Kushinaga have lent their power to Ichigo, revealing a new exclusive form. A skull-clad Ichigo appears and brings down Renji and Uyu while they were hanging, while also bringing Rukia back to safety. He also instantly removes the chains of hell from Rukia, Renji, and Uyu. While Kokuto wonders, like us, what on earth has happened to Ichigo, he begins to explain that hell itself has requested for Ichigo's help to stop Kokuto. He attacks Kokuto, which momentarily destroys his chains as he celebrates. Then a sea of chains finds him as Ichigo passes righteous judgment down upon him like some sort of god. He condemns Kokuto to punishment for all eternity to repent for his sins that he has committed. I felt that this was a really rushed ending to the movie. It was all over the place, containing so many threads that it conveniently wrapped up.
It can be rushed, but guess what? I'm buying it tomorrow.
So everyone appears to return to normal as the
The last two Bleach movies off the Google Play Store, since, you know, I can't get all 4 of them on Blu-ray.
back to the world of the living, with Orihime and Hikotai 13 watching as they return. I always thought that this movie was somewhat unfinished, quite possibly because of these scenes that played while the credits rolled, which I'm pretty convinced were not properly animated due to not fitting the content of the movie. This is all due to the movie juggling too many villains with a total of 2 rescue attempts, and a rushed ending to wrap up all of the plot points before the 90-minute mark hits. Personally, it just resulted in
Oh God, take it back.
video, I mentioned that
Why?
Because
But why? It's great.
How did it turn out to be less than satisfactory? Apparently, there was some controversy regarding his involvement. According to the initial Anime News Network article, which announced Hellverse, we were under the impression that the series author Tati Kubo would have a very involved role for this movie. However, with the Japanese DVD release of Hellverse, a message from Kubo was included. Here is what Kubo had to say in regards to Bleach Movie 4 Hellverse. In this movie, I was credited as executive director. However, honestly speaking, for the DVD version, I want that title to be removed. I already asked them to do so. This is because I feel I didn't participate enough in the production of this movie to warrant such a title. I had felt this way since the premiere of the theatrical version. However, when I met with the producer staff to persuade them, the movie was already in the editing process, so it couldn't be removed. I had a meeting with the scriptwriter. I think it was in the year preceding the movie's premiere, in early summer. The meeting was incessant, and we discussed ideas.
I'm not listening to you.
Scriptwriter took careful notes of the ideas that I had contributed during our meeting. The result of the meeting.
Big City Green's got no business having good reaction images like that.
Before winter, at the latest, the scenario for the movie will be completed. But in the end, the scenario was only sent to me in the spring of the next year, the same year as the premiere of the movie. Furthermore, the scenario didn't contain any of the ideas from the meeting that we had. Apparently, the notes taken from that time were not forwarded on to the director and to the other members of the staff. Later on, we had.
I mean.
Alright, Doom, have a good night.
I mean.
There was no more time for further adjustment. The fact that characters that
Where's the lie?
the original work, like Ichigo, Kokuto, and Shuren, had a very Bleach-like feeling, is all thanks to the voice actors who give them their voices.
Oh, there's
and
the.
understand that through them. Prior to making this video, I knew Kubo wanted his name removed as the
Appreciate it,
executive
Doom, thank
director,
you.
but I didn't know the reason as to why. This is explained in the
I mean. Where's the lie?
rightfully so, as he states, none of the ideas he discussed
There
with the
isn't one.
scriptwriter were communicated on
AOT. Fuck grandpa. Fuck that honor shit, nigga. We kill out here.
I remember thinking that if the original series author was not to be involved, then it will be a movie which is unfortunately it has evident that the direction didn't have enough time to rewrite and additional changes which would needed to make some videos maybe more coherent. After watching this movie recently, it is evident that something was off, not right about Hellverse. Just look at the inclusion of the 2 antagonists, Shuren and Kokuto. Neither of them are given the right amount of time to develop an interesting story around them, especially in regards to Shuren, who we know absolutely nothing about. He is a very generic filler character. This movie was very ambitious. You can see that there was an attempt to really engage fans by trying to fit this movie within the continuity of the series, but it just doesn't make any sense. If they included Kubo's original ideas, then the story of the movie may have done well to fit within the continuity of the manga. The story in this movie really does feel like way too many ideas crammed into a short amount of time. It results in the movie feeling rushed and not providing enough exposition.
Well, you know, you can make your movies 2 hours long. They don't have to be an hour and 30 minutes long.
What are you talking about?
There, he's saying how the last act of Hellverse feels rushed. And I'm like, because when they make the movies that like they have to make them an hour 30 minutes long. Cromer is literally damn near 2 hours.
I prefer longer movies sometimes.
Who, Uncle? You can kill that nigga?
I'm guessing.
I'm killing that nigga. Sonic sequel to debut in April 2022. Bet.
In terms of art and animation, it is without a doubt that this movie features some of the best action scenes from the Bleach media franchise. This really is the best that Bleach has ever looked. Despite the shortcomings in the plot and characterization, I felt that the team behind the art and animation really brought their best effort to the table here. I did like the concept behind Hell in the Bleach universe, and even found that some of the imagery was pretty grotesque and brutal, which is exactly what you expect from a place like Hell. Continuing the same trend with the previous movies, the operatic soundtrack for this movie is a great addition. But once again, the credit for the musical composition goes to Shiro Sakasu. The music really adds to the visuals and helps convey the terror and misery within Hell. I really didn't intend to dislike this movie or want to find its flaws.
Somebody has a picture of a cat in Tanjiro's fit.
Enjoy it a lot, but having to look at it with a critical lens, it really does fall apart.
I want that picture.
To put everything into perspective,
No, we just need to put T'Challa in Tanjiro's fit.
You're right, yeah, he's gonna let that happen.
You're right, we'll give him a whole Muzan fit then.
No.
T'Challa Kibutsuchi.
Not my cat.
He's not just your cat, though.
I know. I ain't letting you put a Muzan fit on him.
What did you think of Bleach Hellverse? Let me know this.
Are you sure about that?
Or if you still find it to be an enjoyable experience.
T, I don't care about spoilers. I really don't.
This person rage quit. Oh my god.
I'm mad it took so long to get the ghost fit. Cause now it's like the only actual black suit of armor in the game.
He said, well then, yeah, you can kill him.
But does that mean I have to join the Mongols? Bro, why you getting on the ground all scared for, bro? Yo, big ass.
He said no.
Okay, good, cause I ain't joining neither of them niggas. Tubby? Nobody calls me Tubby. Ugh.
Okay.
What you mean your favorite character said that?
No.
You even know who I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Patrick.
Patrick ain't my favorite.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he is.
Since when?
Oh, he did one on Crisis Core? Don't ask me top 5 anime that need a brotherhood treatment. There aren't 5 anime that needs it.
So he decided to convey his ideas. He did this via Twitter, where he shares an emotional story of how the manga ended. I managed to write Bleach for 15 years, and in that time, I managed to write Bleach's final chapter the way I had decided to since chapter 1. The credit for this goes to the readers. I've received tens of thousands of fan letters over the years, from 3-year-old children to 78-year-old ladies. I have read and kept every single letter. Those letters helped me push through whenever I felt like giving up. However, in the 10th year of serialization of Bleach, my health started to deteriorate. Doctors had initially told me it was just a cold. In the past, it would get better after a day or so, but then suddenly something changed. I found myself bedridden for a week, and whenever Jump magazine would have a double issue, meaning that there would be a break the next week, I'd stay in bed the entire week to rest. But after a while, that stopped working too. Whenever I thought I was getting better, I'd get a cold again. No matter what.
You know why? Because Jump rushed this man. They worked that man.
I felt like I was failing as a mangaka. A mangaka is someone who delivers a manga with a set quality.
For no reason.
I began to question if I should continue the series. Should I stop? Stories are finished. What should I do? How should I end? I thought about this every single day. But then I received a letter. It had no name or address on it. It was from a sick boy. His medicines had stopped working, and he was now hospital stuck in bed. He was unable to enjoy anything because whenever he'd watch TV and play games, and ended up discovering Bleach, the thought of wanting to read the next volume of Bleach was the first time since his hospitalization that he looked forward to something, that he thought about tomorrow. Bleach had changed his life and had given him an account. This boy had asked for his letter to be sent after his death. The boy's letter ended with the words, I have one final request.
Oh God.
Please draw Bleach the way you want to draw it, right until its conclusion. That's what I want you to do. After picking up the final Bleach volume, volume 74, I couldn't help but think back to this emotional Twitter post by Titan Kubo, wondering about the current state of Bleach. Now, if you were to ask me if I thought the final few chapters of Bleach were rushed, I'd say that they weren't. I feel as though the series was cut short on several chapters due to unresolved plot.
Okay, but hear me out though.
Whereabouts of several characters at the end of the arc, missing out on the backstory of the initial battle between the Quincy and Shinigami in 1000
Volume 74 has the best cover.
Exactly is the new Soul King. And these were a few plot points that personally bothered me.
Bitches.
However, this video is not about the decline of Bleach or describing why things went wrong. There are already many.
Now you gotta making me go to Google to find it.
In this video, I want to go into the current state
You'll
of
be
Bleach
alright.
Does Bleach still have a plot left to be told? How successful is the series? And is it long due for a continuation of its anime adaptation?
No, it doesn't.
After the final chapter of Bleach was published in August 2016, several light novels were announced to be released, the first of which was Bleach, We Do Not Always Love You, which released on the 27th of December 2016. It takes place after the defeat of the Watch. The novel focuses on the reconstruction of the Soul Society and focuses on the marriage of Rukia to Renji Arai. The second novel to be announced was called Bleach Can't Be Your Own World. The novel centers around Shuhei Hisagi. The novel is split into 3 volumes.
Okay, but do I really want to read a whole?
Introducing Verizon Visa Card.
A whole novel about Rukia getting married to Renji?
Use it for everyday purchases, earn rewards, redeem
Probably not.
things at Verizon, and save
Nah, I want to know
every single month.
how Ichigo was when Orihime had their son. That's what I want to know.
/Verizon Visa Card for
I want to know was my man spazzing or not. you know Naruto ass is spazzing.
Oh yeah.
Reveals more
That
details
nigga, that
about the
nigga
four
told me
noble
awesome.
houses,
She probably
which
told him
include
she was
Uchiha
pregnant,
and
and he was like,
Shihoichi.
"What?
Also
What's
revealing more
that?"
details on the Soul King, Arankas, and Fullbringers. The story of the novel features a new antagonist called Tokinada Tsuneyashiro, and a child called Higone, who follows Tokinada. Tokinada is the new head of the Tsuneyashiro family, one of the four noble families. It's revealed that he's planning something in regards to the Soul King. Volume 1 of Bleach Can't Be Your Own World released on August 4th,
Okay.
2017. The second volume released on November 2nd, 2018. And the third and final volume is set to be released on December 4th, 2018. The novels build on the existing lore of the Bleach universe, which are canon to the series. They answer some of the plot points left at the end of the final
I
arc,
guess Spider-Man
like
3
Unohara,
got
Yoruichi,
delayed.
Grimjaw, and
Oh, I
Nami
know.
still being alive after the Thousand Year Blood War arc. Also expanding on the backstory of some characters. The events of Can't Be Your Own World occur 6 months after the Thousand Year Blood War arc. The novels also reveal the Bankai of Hisagi and Shinji. Both novels, You Do Not Always Love You and Can't Be Your Own World, were supervised by
But
Tite Kubo.
no.
On the 16th of July 2018, Tite Kubo released a one-shot called Burn
Oh,
the Witch.
you
Story
actually sent the cat picture.
takes place in the western branch of the Soul
Yeah.
Society. It follows two witches who work for the branch, located in
But
reverse
that's the
London.
best
The
cover.
western branch of the Soul Society differs.
Hey, the banger.
They primarily focus on protecting and domesticating dragons. Its version of the Gotai 13 is called Wingline, and only members of Wingline are allowed to interact with dragons. The witches and wizards are the agents requiring to pass an exam to join the organization. The witches
Yeah,
and
and
wizards
it was
insist on having
Bootios.
dragons, also in some cases
Like that
exterminated.
picture that
The
smoked
final panel of
watermelon.
the one-shot has the name Burn the Witch, which
What?
has selected portions of the words shaded in, spelling out Bleach, hinting at an obvious tie-in to the
He
existing
talking
Bleach
about how he
universe.
wasted an hour watching the X-Type show.
On the 30th
I
of
ain't even
July,
watch it, but I knew it was gonna be
was
trash.
announced that
That's why I did
characters
watch it.
Ichigo, Rukia, and Aizen would be playable in the new arena brawler called Jump Force. They would be fully playable in the designs from the Thousand Year Blood War arc. Jump Force is releasing on the 15th of February 2019. The fact that the developers
Yeah, people are saying the graphics aren't good.
is promising, possibly getting the fans familiar with the designs in expectation of what's to come. In June 2018, it was announced that a 500-page deluxe book, including more than 700 full-color illustrations drawn during the manga's 15 years of serialization, would be released. The art book is set to be released as a 2-volume set. It features never-before-seen sketches, as well as newly drawn artwork by the author Tite Kubo. The illustration collection book is titled Jet, and is set to be released on December 4th, 2018. Jet is a limited print-to-order item, and pre-orders are received in bookstores across Japan and Hong Kong between June 4th and August 20th. On the 10th of November 2018, iPhone collaborates with Bleach, releasing an exclusive collection of clothing items, some of which have already sold out within days of being released.
That's because cause these clowns on Hypeflying be doing too much.
Souls is a very successful mobile game developed by KLabs. The game is celebrating its third year
Yeah, and then
anniversary.
the thoughts always gotta show off what they bought.
The game is pulling in a lot of revenue for the franchise. The game now
Like,
contains
damn.
characters from the Thousand Year Blood War arc.
Leave
Also
some for the rest of
including
us.
that have only been seen in the manga.
Oh, I got the Hunter x Hunter sweatpants.
As you can see from the earnings data in Q1 2016, after the release
I got a
of
Hunter x Hunter
Bleach,
puffer
revenue
jacket so I can, you know,
136 million.
take my e-girl pictures.
The Bleach Can't Be Your Own World
Basically.
novels that are being published will also be appearing.
Niggas real deal about to get a Phantom Troop puffer jacket though. That I ain't gonna wear. But I want it because it looks clean.
Where they will most likely announce all the news related to the popular manga.
Nah, cause them puffer jackets cost way too damn much.
Bleach is considered to be an irrelevant franchise, one that dwindled and declined its popularity.
Yeah, and the girls that be buying them probably have used their money from
Showing the
OnlyFans.
volume sales of Fairy Tail against the volume sales of Bleach from 2009 to 2016. Anyone looking at this will assume that Fairy Tail has surpassed Bleach, and maybe even assume that Bleach is dead or becoming an irrelevant series. but
Like, you gotta sell drugs to be able to get a puffer jacket and a fucking rug.
in comparison to Bleach. It becomes very apparent that Bleach is far
Pretty
from dead.
much.
It is from a sales perspective a
I
moderate
want that
success. Very
Sharingan
tough
rug.
comparison, looking very flawed from the previous example, with only 60 million sales in comparison to Bleach, which has double the volume in sales. In general, Bleach is the 10th most sold manga in the history of Japan, falling below
I
the likes of
mean,
One Piece.
but my thing is, I
When
mean,
we take a further look back and we see Bleach
what you expected, them niggas always do that. They always do that E3.
an estimated $7.22 billion, beating the likes of Minecraft.
That, and then they show a whole bunch of multi-platform stuff.
It is to be remembered that these numbers are estimates, but they do paint somewhat of a picture. To
True.
perceive that Bleach is no longer relevant is a gross underestimation of the success that the series has already had and continues to have. Although the manga has ended, there is no current plans for a continuation.
Probably.
Bleach
Hey,
still
girl.
proves to be a practical influence. In 2018, TV Tokyo released the anime sales figures for titles that TV Tokyo holds the rights for. Bleach proves itself to be a relevant franchise, placing number 5 on the top 5 list for sales for TV Tokyo from March 2018 to November 2018. A live-action film based on the manga was released in Japan on July 20th, 2018. The movie had the approval of the original manga author Taito Kubo. He had requested 2 things before the movie's production went ahead. Number 1, don't change the relationships amongst the characters from the original manga. Number 2, don't make contradictions in the characters' emotions and actions. He believed that the movie creators had
Good, how are
respected
you?
his wishes and had produced a good quality film. The Bleach movie grossed over $4 million from its domestic run in Japan.
I mean, it was a decent movie.
Fans of the
Unlike some of these live-action movies, Fullmetal Alchemist.
I was just about to say Costco and Alchemist.
the original manga enjoying the adaptation. However, financially, it did not perform as well as expected, primarily due to the fact that there was a terrible heatwave in
Studios, I
Japan.
can't believe I even wasted time watching
The
it.
2018 heatwave resulted in over
I can't
22,000
even believe I made myself sit through that movie.
quite possibly as a result of
How do you think I feel?
the box office turnout. The live-action film was released onto Netflix worldwide just 2 months after its initial release in Japan. The movie also was well received by Western audiences. The Blu-rays for
I
the
can't believe we
live-action
sat through
movie are set to
Netflix's
release
Death
in
Note.
December 2018.
That movie's ass. That movie's ass.
On the 22nd of May 2006, Viz Media announced that Bleach would have new Blu-ray sets, the first of which was set to be released
I
on
mean,
July
that's
17,
fine.
2016, with the first set containing
People were
27
saying it's
episodes.
bad.
As of
I don't
2018,
care
there
about
are 4
games
Blu-ray sets
because
that
I
have
don't
been
play on
released,
Xbox.
with set 4 being released on May 15, 2018.
Fable ass too. The only good one was Fable
Now that we
2.
are up to speed with all of the news relating to Bleach, we can take our attention over to the anime. The final episode of Bleach, episode 366, aired in March 2012. The main reason for the anime ending was that the anime had officially caught up to manga. This information is confirmed by series director Noriyuki Abe, who had implied this during the Gold Coast Film Festival in 2012. He had attended the event with Masakazu Morita, who is the Japanese voice actor for Ichigo. The DVD and Blu-ray sales of the Bleach anime have always been performing pretty well. However, during the final arc of the anime, the Lost Agent arc, the TV ratings did drop quite significantly, which meant that the revenue generated from advertising had been reduced. Anime in Japan follow a specific business model. They predominantly thrive on merchandise and media sales rather than relying on advertising revenue, like most Western shows do.
Yeah, I didn't even
Now
watch
going back
like
to the Gold
none
Coast
of
Film
the.
Festival, during this event it was reported that the anime staff had to ask Kubo what would happen if the anime had caught up, as they would need to produce as a minimum at least over a year's worth of filler episodes to give itself enough buffer between the anime and manga. So at this point it was mutually decided to end the production of the anime. When the anime had ended, there was only 1 chapter of buffer between the anime and manga. Noriyuki Abe and
Sounds like you're
Masakazu
having a fun
Morita
time
had
too.
said in 2012 that they both believe that the anime will be back eventually. Masashi Kudo, the series character designer, has expressed interest in continuing the anime and regularly posts Bleach artwork onto his Twitter page for fans to enjoy. He has confirmed that for Bleach to return as an anime, the permission of Shueisha is required to greenlight production for the 1000-year Blood War arc. Shueisha is the publisher of Weekly Shonen Jump, where Bleach was serialized for 15 years. The Bleach anime series director Noriyuki Abe is also required for the anime to continue. As of 2018, Noriyuki Abe has stepped down from his role as series director for the Boruto anime, which he has led since August 2015. He has also wrapped up his involvement with the new Yu Yu manga show OVA. He is, as of now, free for any project the studio period throws
I
his way.
mean, that's
With Bleach
why
receiving so much
we
promotion,
getting
it's safe
1,000 year
to be
Blood
able to
War,
mention
boys.
now would be the most ideal time to announce a return of the anime. From a business perspective, Shueisha has no reason not to greenlight production for a new anime series. With popular shows like My Hero Academia, Black Clover, and Boruto now stagnating, a adaptation of the 1,000-year Blood War arc would shake up the whole anime fandom. The final arc contains the most intense, exciting, and shocking moments in the history of Shonen Jump, let alone in the history of Bleach. With the return of the anime, we have a possibility of Kubo involving himself a lot more closely to the plot, elaborating on unresolved plot points, and extending the final confrontation of Ichigo vs Yhwach to a satisfying conclusion. If Bleach is to return, now is the best time. With Jump Festa 2019 around the corner, news relating to the series may be dropped during this event. If not during Jump Festa, then look forward to 2019, as Bleach is alive now more than ever.
Okay, hear me out. We can't talk about that.
I do.
We can't talk about that. For reasons. I'd fight Aizen.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would. I ain't a girl,
Okay.
so he can't Ted Bundy me.
Right. I'm pretty gay.
Pretty, you know. You can't Ted Bundy me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm already copping day one for Miles, so.
To be honest, that's the only reason currently to get it day one.
Also, it's actually pronounced sushi.
So I don't think Demon Souls is a title, as a launch title.
How you gonna tell? How you gonna tell people how to pronounce it? You don't even know how it's pronounced.
What?
Sarah talking about how Ghost of Tsushima is pronounced, and then she goes like, "White, right?"
What did she call it?
No, she was saying how to pronounce it. She said it right, but she gonna tell me, then she gonna stop talking about wait, right?
She a mess. Oh my god.
A whole mess.
I'm worried for her. Like,
It could be worse. It could have been like Koga's friend, or he was playing it. He got jumped. Like, this man got bullied. No, she got jumped, but the way he got jumped was disrespectful. Because every time someone brings up the fact that apparently people hate that movie because she was eating men, I say, shut up, you don't know my type. That's why we don't talk about that movie.
yeah, men totally hated that movie.
Yeah, I totally hated that movie. No. She's a whole succubus, cuh. Okay, I'm bored now. I don't want to watch. No one want to watch.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. Nope.
Nigga attacking niggas' horses and shit. Killing one wasn't enough for y'all clowns?
Guess not. Lost.
Get out my face, spear nigga. I'll deal with you later. I'll deal with you later. About to get yeeted.
I'm gonna have to clip that one.
Yeet.
I don't know why they was trying to save her anyway when you know both of them had a trap on their head, but okay.
Yeet. Yeet.
I need to find a decently priced Blu-ray, but that's like impossible on Amazon.
I was being sarcastic when I said I hated that movie. Bro, I'm heated about that. I'm heated they shot like 4 arrows in my horse like that, bro. Like I said, them niggas talking about some terrorists the samurai way. It's gonna get these niggas off my island. I already told you, I don't give a fuck about that nigga. Hey yo, that bear just yeeted him. Don't come at me, cuh. I ain't mystical. I ain't gonna tell him to help you. I'm as cold as a lion with no hell. People had the nerve to ask me why they get the auxiliary cord privilege taken away in my car if they play Cardi Beans.
'Cause she sucks. Like, is that not reason enough?
Shoot, people get their aux chorus taken, privileges taken away for Eminem now in my car. So,
Oh, you right.
you thought this was... English.
I don't know. I don't know, T.
I mean, the only Travis Scott song I'm playing is Sicko Mode. And that's when I'm flexing on niggas, so... The only Travis Scott song people like is Sicko Mode.
I could care less for either, to be honest. But that's just me. I don't even hate Travis Scott, that's the thing. But I don't like Cardi B.
Cardi Beans.
Yes. Just in case, yeah. I don't know, like, I don't dislike him, I just don't really care for his music.
I was about to say it now. You say you kicking somebody out for playing Kendrick, you own song. You big bugging.
I mean, Kendrick's fine.
You know what that Uncle Exile and Me reminds me of?
What?
The fucking Exile scene from Lion King 2.
Oh god.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so.
When they're singing and they're throwing rocks at Kovu and shit.
Oh.
What is this? Is this like what would happen if Miracle and Hawks had kids?
What?
I'm about to send it to you.
Oh my god. I'm telling you, I'll curious something else.
Listen, dog. Listen, dog. You right, but when I be in the whip, and you know, I got the whole Compton album on my phone, so I'll be on the whip, and it's always on shuffle. So when Gone come on and his verse on Gone come on, boy. Boy. I mean, if you're in my car, you say you don't like Richie Branson, you walking anyway. Okay, that's Sean. He about walked the game, stuff like that.
But he said he don't.
He said, "Who this?" Cause I'm kinda vibing on that. I looked up like, kinda, nigga, kinda. The fuck you talking about, kinda?
Makes up half of all time. What, so everyone's supposed to sleep every single night now? You realize that nighttime makes up half of all time?
That's a whole mood. In Kingdom Hearts 3, you'll be able to fight sword shoes. $1 million, but you have a knife attached to you at all times.
No.
Okay, well, why? Because. What you mean? A new Berserk chapter came out today.
Huh?
We live in a new Berserk chapter came out today. Because what happened is Guts met the guy who forged the Berserker armor. And the guy's like, you wear that armor quite well, boy.
Hey, Troy.
Like, he said, you wear that armor quite well, boy. And then he tapped it with this hammer, and then it activated. So what it looks like is Guts' real deal, gonna have to face his demons for real. So that's gonna be interesting. The next chapters we get for 6 months.
Right. It's not always Demi's fault.
Alright.
My mom talking about she just staying here and stop causing trouble.
Demi ain't causing trouble.
I just said it ain't always her fault.
Demi just wants a quiet life.
He does though.
But apparently I can't say that, because that'll be the last thing I say before I kill someone. So.
Oh yeah, I seen you were getting a new intro. Or that you had one. probably exactly what happened.
What's good?
If Hawks and Miracle had children. Oh God, Kira.
I need more power.
This man,
What?
he talks about F Kingdom Hearts 1, he fixing to just play Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, because Kingdom Hearts 1 is annoying.
He said he fixing to play nothing but Birth by Sleep, though.
Nah, nigga, you finna play 2. Because 2 is better than Birth by Sleep. 2 is the best one. Nigga, you finna play 2. You finna play 2, nigga. You finna meet the best character. And it ain't awkward. The best character is voiced by the last person that should have won the last singer, because Jazz was salty about that, so I'm gonna be salty about it.
Listen.
Listen, I said you mad about it, so I'm mad about it. What's
Because he
good?
should have won.
Rules of nature. They run when the sign comes up. Their lives on the line. Naka, Roxas is the best character. Dark Aqua is the second best. Is the second best character, and regular Aqua is the third best character. That's how it works. Dark Aqua is a whole separate character, cuz. How you gonna tell the nigga that plays Kingdom Hearts who the best character is? That's just like telling me Makoto ain't best girl. Anyway, y'all seen that video of that girl who tried to pour gasoline in some dude's car and almost blew herself up? That joke was hilarious. First of all, Kingdom Hearts Aqua ain't your Aqua anyway, cuz. You already play all them games. Matter of fact, Julie shared the video, so I'm about to watch it again. You know them. You know them eyebrows are gone.
Mm.
Which group are you joining? The Straw Hats, Team 7, the Stardust Crusaders, the Z Fighters, the Hunters, or the Seven Deadly Sins? I'm joining the Seven Deadly Sins. What you think this is? I can get some more immortality off of that jug. Jasmine say, you finna watch. What you mean? I love to see Gut smile. At least he's happy for a moment. Oh, Jasmine, I gotta show you something.
What?
I gotta show you something. Tell me why this came up in my feed. Tell me why this came up in my feed.
Calling the cops. Because you were talking about. Because you were talking about getting them cherries.
Okay, I didn't say no about no damn pickles. I don't want no damn moonshine pickles. The fuck?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't want any Five Nights at Freddy's characters in the game, but that's just me.
This man Jonathan's been streaming for like 10 hours.
What is he streaming? What for 10 hours?
Dead Stranding.
Oh, Jonathan, what is he doing?
That's what I'm saying. Kill every last one of them. Oh, wrong one. Cut your whole arm off. Huh? You know what I want to buy though?
What?
That Carry On joint on Switch. But I want that jump on PS4 because that jump looks like a fun stream game.
This man.
It's a reverse horror game. You're the monster eating people.
And
Okay, and you know I like games like that because I
I
don't fuck
know.
with people. I'll pre-order that game tomorrow when I get home from work.
Okay.
Stop cosplaying Hisoka, people. He's a whole pedo. Stop it. Oh, Tamari Vidal. Oh, but yeah, at least I found Gohan.
Look, that whole thing is a mess, though.
Alright.
Because a lot of people weren't even able to order any of them because of the whole
Oh, I know.
situation.
I mean, they had the ones at GameStop, but I'm just like, I don't want Sonic Pops. I don't want that giant ass thing. And they had some Hello Kitty one. I'm just like, Jasmine don't collect these, so I don't want to buy him. About to buy this shit anyway.
I didn't see none I wanted that were exclusive, thankfully, this time.
I'm talking about Hello Kitty Pops in general.
No, I know. I'm talking about generally con pops this time. I don't care for none of them.
Lemon berry slushy float. Do I need a membership to watch this? Looks like I don't. I kind of want to send those to your uncle and be like, you should get these.
Don't do that.
Why? I'm not talking about for us, I'm talking about for him.
You don't need them. He said the cherries were nasty.
He did.
Yeah. But then he kept
No.
eating them.
No, I told my dad, I said, I was trying to push past my limits. I'm like, he's like, I don't know. It's gonna take a while to push past your limits with that. That'll kill you. You'll die before you push past your limits. Oh, some more Demi Fiend art? Oh? And it's girl Demi Fiend? The fact this man real deal got people to actually voice at the SpongeBob anime kills me. Okay, but what anime would it be based off of? Now, we can't do Hellsing because no matter what, the killer gonna win. You can't do Hellsing because no matter what, Alucard gonna win.
Have a good night, Billy.
Ain't nobody looking entertaining streaming this game, so never mind. I guess I'll just buy that junk right now. Even though I was waiting to update the Switch icon, because apparently that it don't look too inviting. If you catch my drift. It looks like a coochie.
Okay.
You too. Okay. But yeah, you can't do Hellsing because no matter what, whoever using Alucard gonna win. You can't get away from Alucard. Future Diaries, just Fortnite with phones. I hate that because Future Diary came out first. Angry bald kid. The Fall of Psycho Dad. It would, but you can't do Hellsing because of the fact that Alucard's always gonna win. Especially if they give that man his whole kit. Speaking of anime games, I want Gungrave Gore to hurry up and come out. You can't nerf Alucard. They tried and it didn't work in the actual show. And the manga. You can't nerf Alucard. They tried to nerf him and he became omnipotent. Man. I love Hellsing. Ultimate, not the little anime series. Fuck that shit. I should go get a cup, put some milk in that cup. Cause I got 4 cookies. Yeah. I love Halsey.
We know.
I just don't like that the main antagonist looks like Tanner. Tanner Sweat. To be fair, don't get me started on that boy.
I ain't saying nothing.
Jasmine, give me your Tubi account. I don't feel like making my own. Oh, it's like that. I'm trying to watch Sigma 6, cuh. They put Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce on Disney Plus, and I binged that all day, pretty much. That show's still good.
Oh God! Don't do this, T.
I ain't agreeing to that, so I ain't streaming Rondo. You're not getting a Rondo stream. If I rage on anything, it's gonna be Nocturne, because that game gets frustrating after a while. And y'all got till spring 2021 for that one.
I didn't see nothing about that.
And I always go chaos ending, so. Oh, I saw that. I'm just like, what Mike Tyson doing? His old ass. And I always go chaos route, and that's the hardest route, so. Because everybody hates shooting the chaos route. Nigga should have caught Predator, because I was going to caught Predator. Then I was going to make somebody else make Chris buy it, so he had people. What?
Kira said he never interested in anything.
He's trying to lead you down the path of righteousness, the chaos ending. But I'm trying to lead you down the path that rocks. See, I thought you were on a budget, though.
He usually is on a budget.
That's what I'm saying.
Cause I didn't know how much of a budget you were on. I was gonna tell you Shadow of Tomb Raider is on sale right now too. If you wanted to get it. Just because it's on sale.
The god you worship is dead. See, but I thought your budget was literally only $40.
I think it's on sale for 30 right now, isn't it?
Yeah. So I gotta get that $30 joint from Remnant.
I mean, the only way I'm going to play Predator is if you buy it and someone else get it, so we have a full group.
Okay, but hear me out. If this is a sequel to a Chaos ending, how is the Chaos ending gonna work in 5? Because I'm trying to go for Chaos endings. And a law fag. Don't disrespect me like that ever again, YouTube.
Oh.
Talk about some. Here's a clip for Thundercats Roar.
Oh no, not that disrespectful mess.
YouTube just disrespected me with that shit. Imagine being hyped for Psychonauts 2. Couldn't be me.
Guess what? I'm not hyped for anything.
You guys like Weezer? Weezer?
Shut up.
I hope you guys like Weezer. You ready to do your taxes?
This
was announced 4 months after regular show ended back in 2017. Now, fans had to wait a while for this all-new animated series, and honestly, it was well worth the wait.
Yes, it was.
Finally here, streaming on HBO Max, and here to talk about it is show creator J.G. Quintel. How are you, sir? Good. Thanks for having me. Of course, I'm glad you're here. So, how would you describe the premise behind Close Enough? Close Enough was this idea of like, I want to try something where I could like do these types of stories that have to do with family and having a kid and transitioning, like once you get into your 30s, what it's like to become more responsible and yet still want to do all those things that you did in your 20s. So that was the basis for it. Watching Close Enough, you got like 2 30-somethings, taking care of their child while living with a divorced couple, and I know people like
Jack
that.
Black
So how much? Yeah. So how much of the absurd situation that we see is kind of like steeped in your personal life and in your reality? Story-wise, like the grounded elements of the story, like a lot of those are things that I relate to, or that like the writers relate to. In one of the first episodes, Logan's Run, at the beginning when they are saying goodbye to Candace and they realize like, oh, this is her first sleepover that she's going on, and we it's so sad, and then they're like super pumped about it when she's out of earshot, and it's like, we haven't had a day to ourselves in like 5 years. What are we going to do with it? And you think they're going to do something really cool, and then they decide to do errands, and it's like, my wife and I totally do that. When we finally get some time to ourselves, we're like, let's go hit up some errands where we can just do it and no one's going to drag us down and bother us. Now, what kinds of things in this particular series in Close Enough were you able to kind of explore that you maybe weren't necessarily able to in regular show, like because of, maybe due to like the restrictions that you typically face, working on a children's cartoon as opposed to like an adult themed cartoon? Yeah, I mean,
regular show wasn't for kids.
Something that's got a higher rating, we can do a lot of things that we were never allowed to do. We still have limitations, which is great. I think
oh Lord,
because you have to come up with clever ways to get the jokes across. But then, just from like a story standpoint, I feel like there are so many stories that we never could have done on regular show that have to do with
being married and like the types of things you do with your partner, or even having kids, the types of things you do when you're a parent. So this show can deal with all of these types of things.
I'm kind of curious. Maybe I just missed it. Are there any sort of like regular show Easter eggs that fans might appreciate in Close Enough?
The apartment that they live in Close Enough is based off of the apartment that I lived in when I first got out of college. It was this apartment in Los Feliz, and the kitchen had wallpaper like that. It didn't look exactly like that. We tweaked the design of the wallpaper, and if you really look close, it's like abstracted versions of the regular show characters. There's a really funny one that I saw someone found it on the internet, so I know someone has found it, but like there's one in Skate Dad. This is like my favorite one where they go to the skate shop and Candace goes to pick a board and she's like, that one, and it cuts in on this really demonic looking board and it like sounds really creepy. Did you play that backwards? It says buy regular show DVDs. Buy regular show DVDs. That's awesome. So we got like tons of stuff hidden throughout.
Oh man, how did I? So I mean, like, so you're just hoping that there's eagle-eyed viewers, right? Is there a comprehensive list somewhere online? Because I miss all of these things. I mean, like, I want to know all of them. What am I gonna have to do in order to find this?
There's one in Dog Boy, like in that like post little montage where it's like hitting posts after they throw the cell phone and like just see like a blue jay on a post, right? But it's like that's like a subtle Mordecai one, and like I didn't want it to be like straight up like the characters walking in like they exist in the same universe, but more like it's of the same DNA, and so it's all like subtly like in there. You'll see little hidden
A whole
things
Woody
that
pic?
maybe you catch it, maybe you don't, but
I mean, I know I saw a booty pic, not a Woody
so many
pic.
people work on the show that I know people are hiding stuff in there without telling me, so stuff might even slip by me.
Now, I saw one of my favorite musicians on your show, and I'm not talking about Post Malone. I'm talking about Weird Al. I'm kind of curious. Can you
They threw a phone at Post
describe what it was
Malone.
like working with Weird Al? I mean, he's a legend amongst music parodies, and if anyone that knows me, I make music parodies all the time, so I'm kind of curious. What was it like working with him?
Well, we were sure that we were going to get it, so pretty sure Sean Zellis drew the character
At
of
someone who needs a
Weird Al,
truly
so he
lemonade
was
sponsorship.
gonna be playing himself. And he wanted to see the script. He wanted to know, well, like, well, what am I doing?
I'm about, what's more like a Twitter? I'm about
I didn't know she was gonna say yes. I
at
mean,
her.
he gets mauled by a bear, but like he read it, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." So he came in, and he was just super cool, really funny. He like nailed the take stuff right away. He was a really great guy.
I'm so glad you guys got him. I'm also, I also wish though, I know this is probably shooting for what the moon. I know shoot for the stars, shoot for the moon, whatever that saying is. I was hoping you guys were going to get him to do a song.
Look at that jaw on
parody
Erica
song or
Lindbeck,
something.
more like
I was
Erica
so
Linebacker.
hoping. I mean, like you guys had some parody songs in that particular episode, so I was kind of hoping that it was going to be like a sort of musical number. But I guess
You never know, maybe. Like the fact that we got him was great, but like he could always like if we ever did something before, maybe we bring back the Weird Al ghost because he's still around at the end of the episode.
And speaking of doing more, one of my final questions.
Of course you're tired, Matt. You stayed up till like freaking
I mean, I hope we get
1 in the afternoon.
Make them, even though it took so long. I mean, it's just been out for almost a week now. So I don't know how long the network wants to check it out. Now that it streams, I guess they can tell exactly how many people are watching it. So hopefully the number is right and they ask us to do some more.
Well, I'm hoping they do, because like honestly, I've been telling all my friends about it, like all my friends that were huge fans.
Okay, but hear me out, JG. How, if I watch, you know,
I told about the show, and you want to know who else I also told, JG? Do you want to know?
if I watch close enough, like 30 times, will that count for us to get another system, another season, please?
I did, but I wanted to let you do it. I didn't want to steal it from you.
Because me and Jasmine can totally watch close enough 30 times.
Thank you so much for joining us, man. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Now I know what you guys are thinking. That impression wasn't that good, but hopefully it was close enough.
Ah, see what I did there? Yeah, that's right. Close enough. It's
Get
only
out.
streaming on HBO
You're
Max.
fired.
Stick around. Plenty more ahead
You're
as
fired.
coverage.
I mean,
You're
you don't gotta
fired.
buy the nurse.
Oh yeah, I gotta buy them jokes for Susie. I almost forgot.
I wanna get the other Susie skins.
Which one?
The one with the red hair. Because they got one with her with red and then the one with the blue. Oh, I'm just saying, you don't have to buy the nurse because she's already a killer in the game. Honestly, I just get stuff for the game when I feel like it. To be honest. Like, I have enough for another killer, but I'm trying to save my shards.
Yeet. Tell me why The Boys already got a season 3 and season 2 hasn't even came out yet.
I don't know.
I just need to find a stream to pass out to, though. I would say I would be back, but hold on. I got snacks right here.
That's fine, bro. I'm gonna have to wait for another match anyway, so. I'm going to upgrade the doorbell first.
I'm going to be back anyway. I need something to drink and go with my snack.
This clown.
And snacks, I mean Pringles.
Yeah, since for some reason you don't want to eat those.
I don't know. I bought like 3 things of them.
Look, Pringles just be good sometimes, so I can't judge.
I don't know. They be hitting just right sometimes. Especially when you have a taste for them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because now since you brought some over, like, They
Huh?
sound so now since he brought those ones over, they sound good. Lots of them. But I don't eat them that often.
Man, look. I need to actually start buying snacks when I get off of Tuesday night. Because yesterday I really don't want snacks. Low, 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 low. Bun slacking. I need a new for beginners.
Okay.
I'm just saying she's slacking. Bloodborne for experts.
He said bundle slacking.
Watch for free upgrade for more.
Video was rated M for you're young, you shouldn't watch this, so viewer discretion is advised. But hey, I won't tell if you want it. Just an FYI, before we get started, this video will be mostly spoiler-free. I will not talk about any of the major plot points or events that could possibly ruin the overall experience of the game. However, I am going to be diving into the nitty-gritty details of Nocturne, such as the combat design, basics of the plot, yada yada yada. But don't panic, I'm not going to spill and smear the beans all over the place. Alright, people, relax. Moving on, talk about going back to your roots and getting smacked with a fully grown tree. So I beat Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, and boy, do I have a lot to say about my experience through a game with both history and history, which I know what to do with. And while Nocturne's existence is nothing new, I want to be able to do an overall review while explaining my thoughts and feelings about this bittersweet pain train. But of course, what I have to say has probably been said before, somewhere in a way more detailed, long Reddit thread from someone who is clearly smarter than I am, but that's not the point. The point is that Nocturne is a game that isn't talked about that much on YouTube anymore, at least on the mainstream, which is a real shame, because this title deserves to be acknowledged as a commonly known PS2 classic, but is still brought up today to use to shame modern gaming tropes, as in like, oh man, this is how gaming used to be, and these games know what was up, and oh my gosh, why can't we go back to this, and yeah. But instead, I'm talking about it. So to catch everybody up, what in good God's name is even Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, or also called Shin Megami Tensei The Devil's Lettuce or something else. Now, diving into
It's called Lucifer's Call.
context, Nocturne is the third mainline entry in the Shin Megami Tensei
But you know, they couldn't
series,
name that in America.
2003 in Japan, and then had a director's cut version released in 2004 in the West, which is the most popular version and the one we're going to be talking about, since the extras and goodies in this one are what the kids call meat. Actually, fun fact, you want to know where that featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series meme came from? Well, it's from Nocturne's director's cut, because yes, the game does feature Dante from the Devil May Cry series, because Atlas did a joint thing with Capcom for the lulz, so yeah, he's in the game kinda.
I don't even know what that is.
I guess. Now, the Shin Megami Tensei franchise, created by Atlas, has a lot under its umbrella and has been around for a very
It's like 2D Dark Souls.
long, expansive lineage. SMT is definitely one
I mean, I'll watch, but if he's
more so than Final Fantasy or Pokemon. So they kind of know what's up when it comes to making a JRPG, even if they never reach the quote-unquote ultra mainstream in the West. But because Shin Megami Tensei is so broad and tends to make each installment its own separate thing, along with its many spin-offs, there leaves a lot of room for experimentation, and Nocturne is the byproduct of that creative freedom.
Just thinking about that, we may get Digital Devil Saga 3 soon.
Time gap between the installments, but with a new engine, perspective, combat, design, the whole shebang. Nocturne was such an important, influential installment in the franchise because aspects of the game are still showing up into Atlas's other more recent titles, as well as other games outside of the genre. But even though Nocturne is considered one of the behemoths of the genre, the game has remained a cult classic for a plethora of reasons, most of which I'm going to be diving into this video. But do know that this game is niche and niche for a reason. Now, allow me to tell you all the things, so let's jump into the ever weird, ever dark, ever gentle and soft Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. So normally I like to start with stuff you want to know out the gate. Is SMT Nocturne good? Yes, but with a little asterisk next to it. You see, Nocturne is a good game for accomplishing the things it tries to do. Heck, I even say the game is great with how much it succeeded in doing.
It's still mad surprising.
Ideas for the mainline series. Now, I can't say without a doubt that Nocturne is a Japanese role-playing game in every sense of the word. You like deep risk versus reward turn-based combat while kidnapping demons who flirt with you and or want to bite your head off, Nocturne is for you. You like long, intricate, labyrinth dungeons that require you to pay attention to the tiniest details to make your way through, Nocturne is for you. You like dark, mysterious, simplistic plots and a general sense of dread and apathy in a cold, unforgiving, violent world, Nocturne is for you. You like skinny anime boys who are on a grand adventure to save the world with the power of friendship with waifus, cute characters, and long movie-like cutscenes and dialogue, Nocturne is not for you. You see, the game is on the other end of the JRPG spectrum because, let's be honest, it is an incredibly broad term that doesn't tell you a whole lot except for the fact that people in Japan made it, and there's probably a lot of numbers involved. But this is a title very gameplay focused, so if you don't like labyrinths and turn-based combat, Nocturne will drain you fast. But I can say, the thing that will grab anybody who does like this kind of stuff is the game's atmosphere. Yes, there is a story, and I'll get into the details of that soon, but Nocturne has one of the most dense atmospheres I have ever experienced in a JRPG. From the character design, to the world, to the color palette, the music, everything about this game feels complicated, unworldly, and mysterious. Tone is a big factor here, because it's something you can sense throughout. But with that being said, no, this game is not for everybody. In fact, I can say that if you are not used to JRPGs at all, or unfamiliar with their little antics, you should not start with this game, because it will do nothing but frustrate you. Accessibility is
Nah, Jazz will be fine. I'll be there to help her.
because one thing you'll inevitably hear about this game, we've talked about, is that very some baby truth because the game does not hold.
Jazz will be fine.
Games, if you're on a subjective topic, some may fly through this, some may Peter Pan, sometimes. But I can't say that Nocturne is challenging, but its difficulty comes from two things. One, big explanations, and two, RNG from hell. Now, I'll cover these things more in depth later, but do have some peace of mind.
What you mean? The RNG ain't bad?
It does give you all the information you need to figure things out if you pay attention, like actively pay attention. So by no means is it expecting you to do stuff that isn't within the game's bounds. Although, I can say a guide will make stuff way smoother, and also water as well. Go figure. 1.7 did make things smoother. Now, what's nice about this kind of game design is that if you have more patience than the game, you will be able to get through just fine. It's not like an action RPG where your mechanical skill level will keep you from winning. It's turn-based, meaning if you take the time to get stronger and explore around, you'll be okay. Dandy. It's a numbers game after all. Talking to people, exploring the areas thoroughly, having bigger numbers than the other dudes, and basic understanding of the combat equals you win. Nothing much more to it. The game is tough, but not the toughest I've played, and it's very manageable. But with any challenging game, winning feels good. So if you like getting the crap kicked out of you, only to eventually grind your teeth so hard they burst into dust, Nocturne is a bucket filled with rewarding gameplay. Now, for a disclaimer, I play the game on normal mode, so me talking about the difficulty might seem like I don't understand how the game really is, because Nocturne does have an infamous hard mode that separates the men from masochists who have too much time on their hands, and people love to brag about how that's the real challenge. And to that I say, yeah, but who knew that playing the game on hard mode makes the game harder? Literally anything can be hard if you tie one hand behind your back and play it using your ears, so congrats on knowing that the hard mode is indeed hard. Reading is tough, I know. But assuming you play the game on normal, for some commitment, because Nocturne is over 50 hours long and ain't for the weak will.
Dying
To
over
enjoy this
here.
game, you gotta go with the right mindset. But if you're big on the JRPG scene for its mechanics, this is a must-play, and this is up there with one of the most memorable gaming experiences I've had in a long time. But I'm preaching to the choir. We all know that Nocturne is good. How is it to get so many people to kiss its feet for so long? But JRPGs commonly rely on that story to keep people interested, and this is where the game's strength and weaknesses are. So, no secret, Nocturne is the third title in the Shin Megami Tensei mainline series, but fear not, you do not need to know anything for the previous games to understand the plot. Now, understanding the lore is a little different, since SMT lore is older than me at this point, but if you're looking at the bare basics plot, Nocturne is an original story, anyone can pop into it. But to give you a quick rundown, the game follows a group of people in Tokyo who all happen to be at the right place at the right time, because 2 cult members, 3 students, and a journalist all walk into a deserted hospital one day, and conveniently, the cult members summon the apocalypse, aka the conception, and everyone outside of the hospital gets sucked into the void, or dies or something, and the rest of the world is basically turned inside out, inhabited with demons, and put in a we'll wait for further instructions state. Now, this sounds like a spoiler, but it's really not, because it happens like 20 minutes within the game. Anyway, you play as one of the students who, Lucifer, as in, you know, the devil, decides to infuse the Nagatama, or whatever, I might be pronouncing this wrong, please bear with me. Basically, a big demonic parasite, just like Mom used to make, turning him into a human who can use demon powers, the unofficial name being Demi-Fiend. So with your newfound abilities and glow in the dark body, you set out on a journey to find your lost friends, and to harness enough power to find your own season, trigger the creation, and shape the new world to your will, or someone else's will if you don't feel like thinking for yourself for today. So, needless to say, Nocturne takes a standard JRPG trope and flips it around. Normally in games, you fight to prevent the end of the world, but Nocturne starts off with an ending, and then you have to go from there. Now, I did give a very short synopsis, but the thing about Nocturne is that after the initial character introductions and the conception going down, the plot comes to you in little snippets. It's a blunt, straightforward story with minimal cutscenes, main character interactions, and the occasional exposition dialogue dump. Your goal is to just get powerful enough to create a new world, and rarely do you get derailed from that task. So if you're expecting some long-winded, character-driven epic with big events and whatnot, you're in the wrong place. Demi-Fiend is a blank slate. Most of the other characters' development happens off-screen, and you're just left with the aftermath. The big plot points are few and far between. But that's not to say the plot is lacking, though. For a game like this, you don't particularly need an overly complex plot. You can easily write off the story's intentions as less is more. But where Nocturne makes up for its content in the main plot is in the world-building, atmosphere, and people you meet along the way, and the choices you make. Main plot aside, you are the Demi-Fiend thrown into a new, tough, unforgiving world, and it doesn't really give a crap about the protagonist. Everyone is rather apathetic towards your presence, and is already off doing their own thing, and so are you. Now, even though you're in the aftermath of the world ending, it doesn't really feel like a normal apocalyptic setting, because the humans are just going about their everyday life. Like, history rewrote itself and jumped 100 years into the future. Gives you cultures, groups, species, fast-powered hillbillies, all just living life like this is how the world has always been. Inside out, dusty and full of highways, but you'll be amazed at how quickly this sets the tone. Not to mention, stuff is just interesting because SMT lore is rather unconventional compared to standard stories. It's darker, less predictable, and weird and wacky sometimes to say the least. For real, the game may look really serious on the surface level, but once you get rolling, you're gonna get sideswiped by some stupidly funny moments and jokes, mainly involving the demons and side characters you'll inevitably meet. If the no comedy made it, there'd be a apocalypse. Now, Nocturne is also a very open-endish kind of game where it's a build-your-own-adventure in a way. Throughout your experience, you'll be able to make pivotal switches in dialogue, or by exploring the world enough to where you'll unlock different paths. And depending on these factors, parts of your experience will change. There is a big focus on philosophy here. The whole point is to side with a reason. Solitude, harmony, elitism, freedom, etc. Now, some people are obviously heartless, ruthless, and with receding hairlines, but there is no wrong answer in Nocturne. I found the game most fun when I could answer questions based on my personal beliefs because I wasn't worried about cracking ending. Like the world is already destroyed, what's the worst that can happen? Although there is a true ending, but yeah, you play how you want, alright? You won't mind. The point is, the plot is linear because it is a shape, because it's a Japanese role-playing game, y'all. Emphasis on the role-playing part. Feel? All in all, I can say it's not a plot that you'll get super emotionally invested in because of the minimalistic approach, but it will keep you interested because of how open and unconventional it is, along with trying to understand the more mysterious elements of the lore. While I normally get pulled in faster with stories that have more fluff and in-your-face substance, Nocturne will grab you by the pants and leave your shirt behind, if you know what I mean. It's strange, it's cool, and gosh dang it, it's good. But where Nocturne puts a lot of its effort, it's in its world design. When it comes to basic game progress, Nocturne can be described as a semi-linear open world, where you unlock more of the interconnected areas in the world as you progress, and you can return to most areas once you make your way through them. Now, after your fun little happy time field trip at the deserted hospital and the world gets sucked into the vortex, you're going to be thrown right into the thick of what Nocturne is about. You'll eventually get access to the overworld, where you can move around and explore the various areas in the apocalyptic wasteland, but in order to unlock more of it, you'll need to go through dungeons blocking your way that you were told to go to. It's a very rinse and repeat process. You navigate the overworld, go to the places you need to go, make your way through the dungeon, fight some bosses, meet some characters, and then you move on. Now, what's nice about all this is the freedom involved. Yes, you can just plow through the areas that progress the story, but nothing is stopping you from exploring or returning to older areas. Granted, there is some backtracking involved with the story, but you can go up and do whatever you want via the teleportation devices in every area. From extra dungeons to revisiting shops, side bosses, you open up the world on your own terms. Now, as for how the overworld is structured, I like it. It's not the most innovative thing I've ever seen since older JRPGs have done stuff like this before, but it gives you a more grandiose sense of the world state. Being able to see everything from a more open, non-constricted point of view is a nice contrast to the dungeons that can feel a lot more claustrophobic. Basically, I like being able to see the thing I'm about to go into. It makes stuff more immersive, especially since it's a pretty full-looking overworld. The Vortex world got a lot going on. Of course, when it comes to knowing where to go in the overworld to progress the plot, the game does take the simple approach and leaves little verbal breadcrumbs to get you there. There isn't like some big flashing neon sign showing the way. It does require some exploring to find the right path, but NPCs can normally point you in the right direction to finding the next area or dungeon. But when it comes to the dungeons, main story related or not, this is where you see Nocturne's true colors. The best way to describe the dungeons are just straight up labyrinths. They are long, winding, puzzle-filled areas with new gimmicks all the time. Some are more complicated than others, but 90% of the time your goal is to just make your way through or find an item or defeat something at the end. The structure may be a rinse and repeat process, but the dungeons do keep things incredibly lively, both aesthetically and mechanically. Each area has a super unique look. Some are more traditional looking places, while others got that weird color vibe going on. The areas just never look the same. However, despite their cool aesthetics, once you start navigating a dungeon, you'll find it really easy to get lost in, since a lot of the hallways basically look the same, minus a ladder here or an extra door there. So unless you check your map and compass religiously, you can bet your sleep 50 you're gonna get turned around without noticing for a long time. Speaking of which, thank God there is a map in this game, because without it, I would have pulled my hair out, because assuming you're trying to figure out the dungeons blind requires a lot of trial and error and retracing your steps. Again, each dungeon is unique, and figuring out how each area's gimmicks works and how to make your way through requires you to mess up a few times to see what's up, unless you get like hella lucky and happen to pick the right way the first time, which can totally happen, believe me. But from flipping areas upside down to avoiding shadows to sneaking past the Pixie Mafia, you're going to be doing a lot of running around finding the right way to go. There were even a few cases in the game where I had to write down a pattern map, like trying to keep track of which rooms I was supposed to avoid or which door would change the dungeon's layout. It's those kinds of puzzles, guys. But don't think you need outside outside knowledge to figure stuff out. Again, the game does give you all the context clues or information somewhere in the game to make it on your own if you are willing to look for it. Nocturne is definitely one of those games that does get more fun the more you replay it, because you'll know the dungeon's gimmicks off the back of your hand after the initial playthrough. They kind of stick with you. But actually finding the solutions does require mega patience, pattern recognition, and attention to detail. If you're an easy solution kind of person where you like the game to spell it out for you, God help you. A bulk of Nocturne's content can either be pegged as frustrating or rewarding. It just depends on the amount of effort you put into the game, and it does expect a good chunk of it. However, I never felt like the dungeons were too frustrating, with a few minor exceptions. Let's see!
What's behind?
But what makes the dungeons more challenging than they really should be is the constant interruption with battles. So let's take a stab here at the combat, because Nocturne takes the normal turn-based gameplay and gives you something a lot more interesting. Now, before I dive into the details as to why
That's
I love
fine,
Nocturne's
T. Have a
combat,
good
let me
night.
just say one thing I don't like. Random encounters. Again, you are a lone
Probably
dude
not
running
gonna
around
stream for
trees
much
areas
longer anyway.
desperately trying to figure out how the heck you get out.
Or get off
You are
of it
constantly taken
anyway.
out of that to fight battles when you'd rather focus on the puzzles can get incredibly annoying. Yes, there are items that lower the encounter
When you
rate
playing
sorta.
Ghosts.
Yes, there is a compass that flashes red when stuff about to go down. Yes, you can just straight up
I don't
escape
know
from
why.
battles whenever. And yes, you can fight your
I'm
way
just
through and grind as
asking.
you navigate the labyrinth. But I don't like it when Final Fantasy does it. I don't like it when other
This
JRPGs
man
do
being
it.
so
And I don't like it when Nocturne does it. Now, am I saying all random encounter mechanics are bad? No, not at all. Some people totally love random encounters, and there are many games that have created similar systems that have the same effect, but without the frustration. Like Ni no Kuni or The Last of Remnant, where you see the enemy on the field before engaging, or at least give you a useful indication as to how to avoid combat. That's the kind of stuff I can get behind. I understand there are
For
technical
real, whoever
limitations with older
dislikes the clown.
JRPGs, you can't be pushing models in every corridor, but when given a high
But I
average
don't care,
encounter rate along
so.
with vague warnings with no real way to avoid combat consistently, it's the one major thing I would have changed to help make the game less rigid. But it's a good thing I do like the game's combat, because Lord knows I'm thrown in there a lot against my own will. Either way, Nocturne has to be the most fun I've ever had with any turn-based system, even compared to some of the series' spin-off games. The basis of this enjoyment is the high-risk versus reward aspect of the press turn system. Okay, so let's set the stage here. You enter a battle, and depending on how many people in your party determine how many turns you get. The enemy also gets turns, but the numbers can vary. But you got your normal JRPG types of attacks: standard melee, HP draining hard-hitting melees, elemental magic, buff and debuff with a Diet Coke, you know, the normal stuff. Now, each action takes up a turn, and you hit the thing until it dies, and you gain experience, and bada bing, bada boom, you move on. The catch with the press turn is the massive focus on strength and weaknesses to certain attacks. Most, if not all, enemies will have a weakness to something, and if you manage to hit them with whatever that is, be it magic, a critical attack, or a piercingly annoying voice, then you will only use half of your turn. Therefore, you can extend how many turns you initially have, aka more chances to gain damage and more chances to support your party. Granted, you can't pad it out forever if you keep hitting enemy weaknesses or pass on a turn, since half turns get burned up regardless of what you do. But boy, can you abuse it. This also gets taken to the extreme if the enemy misses or hits you with something you completely void or drain, like certain magics and even melee attacks. Because if that happens, the enemy can lose turns, and it's back to the slam jam with your attacks. So if you know what your strengths and weaknesses are, along with the enemies, and know how to use your half turns wisely, you'll be able to eat up all the enemy's turns and just obliterate the poor suckers. However, everything I just said also applies to you. If the enemy hits you with a weakness, they get a half turn. If you miss or use an attack they void, you will lose turns, and it's the enemy's time to beat you into the ground. This is the balance of the game's combat, and it expects you to know that, or else you ain't getting very far. Nocturne does not play around, guys. It's unforgiving, punishing, and never eases up. Every rule you are bound to, the enemy is as well, positive or negative, and that's what makes the press turn so fun for me, and also straight up devastating when you make stupid mistakes and are ill-prepared, and see that game over screen for the 70th time because you have crap resistance, if an enemy does that thing that gives it more turns. It just be like that sometimes. The point is, the system has a super strong core. It requires thoughtful moves, which can create some really intense moments, especially in boss fights, and Lord knows there is a ton of nuance that comes with how many abilities you'll be able to gain over the course of the game. As an example, I never really utilized buff and debuffs in other JRPGs that much until Nocturne, because they make such a massive difference. Even the tiniest adjustments to your stats can help you just poop on enemies. It's a system that rewards you for paying close attention to the details, whether it be attack pattern, enemy stats, stats or turn count. Now, your resistance stats and abilities are the core of making it through fights smoothly, and what's nice is how flexible Nocturne can be with changing those stats. Now, the Demi-Fiend runs off of demon tapeworms or whatever, and as you make your way through the game, you'll be able to discover more Magatamas, which allow you to change your strength and weaknesses, along with what abilities you'll learn after leveling up. The Magatama system is great because it doesn't make the Demi-Fiend stagnant. He isn't locked on a progression tree, and you won't feel like you're stuck with a weak sack of bricks when going against a tough boss. Adjusting your Magatama can change the battle dynamic drastically, making what was once an extremely tough boss to a dumb-looking pushover. Now, the Demi-Fiend is your go-to man with a plan, but he's just one piece of the puzzle, because you'll be able to gain new demon party members throughout the game, and how you do that is a little goofy. In the world of Nocturne, you'll be fighting demons, but they ain't just bad guys for you to kick around. Nah, fam, these are creatures with thoughts, feelings, hopes, and dreams can be reasoned with, and whenever in combat, the Demi-Fiend has the option to talk to enemies and a chance to convince them to join your team. Now, you can only befriend demons of that of the same level or less, but the dialogue from the demons gives them so much personality. From flirty to abrasive to weird and wacky, the replies are varied and unpredictable, with a dash of what's cooking good luck. And granted, it's not as easy as asking them out on a date or something. Assuming you aren't using any negotiation abilities like brainwash or kidnap, a lot of the time you'll need to give them items or cash or answer questions to convince them to join. And that can be a little annoying when you invest time and money into them, only for them to peace out at the last second, like your dad getting a pack of cigarettes and never coming back home. It also kind of sucks that if you are doing the talk option, when asked questions by demons, there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason on the right answer, and it seems to be entirely random. The likeliness of demons joining your party can also be affected by the moon cycle. That's going to be a little excessive. Plus, you don't always get to fight for the demons you want on a preferred moon cycle, so it's unreliable, basically. I just wish there was more structure or clean-cut answers to the negotiations to make the talks less flimsy, but that's what the abilities are for, I guess. But even if you fail to convince the cool demons to join your party, another way to get what you want is at the Cathedral of Shadows, where you can have Grandpa fuse the demons you do get to create new ones. It's a pretty straightforward process, but it's just another tool to create better parties and to have some diversity with your demons. But with the Magatamas and being able to create and convince demons to join your party, there is an endless amount of ways you can customize your battle strategies. It can be a little daunting, but also kind of hilarious if people get mad at you for having a certain setup, because no one's party or character build will be the same. It's like statistically impossible with how much crap you get. Can actually say this is a play it your way kind of game. As long as things die, no one should really be complaining. But even if you manage to create a great party and fly through Nocturne, the game's RNG is a curveball so hard it'll blindside you with even the most prepared parties. There is a big possibility that some of the random encounters are going to get the first swing in and hitting you with a bunch of new stuff you're not prepared for and dying on the first set of turns, giving you no chance to do anything at all, which can feel a little unfair at times. This can also apply to some of the boss attack patterns. As one example, there was a situation with little Toot Man in the later half of my playthrough where I managed to beat the boss first time no problem, but then I had to go somewhere, so I turned off my PlayStation 3, totally forgetting to save the game, so I had to do the fight over again, which was like, okay, no big deal, I beat him first time, no problem, what's the worst that can happen? Suddenly, it took me 7 tries because the RNG gods just weren't having it today. This is probably why you see a lot of arguing over the difficulty of certain bosses, like, oh, I beat them the first try, wow, they're so easy, versus, oh my god, no, it's total bullcrap, I died so much. It really can depend on that RNG luck, my dudes. Rather a boss decides to ignore your whole party and uses their only 2 moves to do their mega big screw you attack on you back to back, versus, I don't know, not doing that and spreading the damage out evenly to the party, yeah, it can happen sometimes. Now, to be fair, enemy RNG does keep things interesting, but at the same time, I can feel cheated if it seems like the game is actively trying to piss me off. I have conflicting feelings about Nocturne's RNG, but overall, it's not a deal breaker. It does keep the combat spicy, that's for sure, but it just so happens to make me more bitter than other games with a lot of RNG is all I'm saying. Now, there is so much more to the gameplay, I'm honestly not even scratching the surface of how many bells and whistles Nocturne has hidden up its sleeves. For Lord knows I can't cover it all, we're on the time crunch after all. But do know that the gameplay is where Nocturne shines the brightest. The system rewards strategy, and the bosses challenge and change those strategies, so winning against them makes you feel clever. So good job, Nocturne.
Oh, I'm just waiting to get into a game.
High key why I like this game so much. Now let's move on to everyone's favorite superficial aspects, the game's presentation. You know, the looks,
It's
sound,
beautiful.
and graphics, everything
Taking
that adds to the
forever
game's
like
flavor.
usual.
Now, fun fact about me, presentation is a massive factor when it comes to drawing me in. I bought games strictly based off of the soundtracks and the visual styles, and for whatever reason, I have a hard time getting into more 2D games, so I always gravitate towards more 3D stuff because
I need
I'm
more
not sure, I'm
pixel
just
art.
picky, that's just how it be. But when it comes to Nocturne, I
What,
absolutely love the
Christopher?
presentation. one of the
Talking
reasons
about
why I
okay,
wanted to play it in
but
the first place. Aesthetics-wise, it's a beautiful game. From the creepy reds to the
oh, you
somber
mean your favorite?
look helps draw me into the world way faster than
What
the
you
story
mean? That's
does.
what I'm
And
using
because
that
of
song to play with
art
y'all.
style, Nocturne's environments have a
For
distinct
you,
smell. Yeah, it's a
since
late
you
80s game,
escaped.
but art style over
Yeah,
graphics any day,
you
any time,
escaped and he
man. Because I just
executed
had
me.
there are some really subtle touches in the
Oh,
environment that
he
affect
talking
the
about
dungeons a
because
lot more
someone
than I
disliked the
initially thought.
stream.
Normally in games,
That's
puzzle
all.
mechanics and the environment stick out like a sore thumb, but Nocturne makes them seem natural. So natural, in fact, I didn't notice them for a while because they
Yeah,
blended
it's
so
your
well. But
favorite.
Nocturne excels in more than just its environment. The game's character
You trying to
design,
take my whole collection? Yeah, it's your favorite.
giving the
Yeah,
game's
you
characters
escaped and he executed me.
their features alone, especially the demi theme. The dude just looks cool. Heck, Atlas still even thinks so today.
Because I was
God. And
in the
while some of the
way.
demons can look a little silly compared to the more serious looking
You were
ones,
in the
there's a ton of
crossfire,
enemy
Jasmine.
variety and it works. Kazuma's art really holds the SMT series together. Something about his style is just really fascinating to me, although I'm not really sure how to frame it. Everyone just looks thoughtful. Maybe it's something about them eyes. I don't know, but boy does it look good. Now, Nocturne's music can be a rather subjective thing. I know some people who straight up hate some of the tracks on the OST, but I really like it for how different it is. The vocals have an early 2000 vibe going on. It can be a little off-putting since they seem
Next
so
time I
chaotic,
should just
but
tell
they're
you where
weird
he
and
at.
wonderful, so I ain't complaining. Also, some of the tracks have great instrumentals that kind of remind
Yeah, I
me of
mean, you
Final
probably
Fantasy
should.
sound, which reminds me of the OSTs of all time, so there's that. And while some tracks are strictly for setting mood and ambiance, there are others that are just straight up bops. It be killing it
Oh,
out here.
listen,
Now, I can't
Chris,
say other
ain't no one
SMT
want to
games have
know
had more
that.
catchy soundtracks for me, but Nocturne gets the job done and is anything but generic. While we're on the topic of sound, though, a tiny thing I wish Nocturne had strictly out of personal preference is voice acting. You see, I have severe dyslexia, and by extension, auditory processing disorder, so my reading comprehension is kinda crap, and naturally I always prefer games with voice acting to help me get into the story. Most of the other SMT games not too long after Nocturne have a decent amount of voice acting, and it was one of the reasons why I was able to enjoy them. Like, if Persona 3, 4, and 5 had no voice acting, I would have dipped out of those games so hard, and it's also one of the reasons why I honestly just do not care about the social links. I just like the game's main plot because it's being spoon-fed to me with stuff I can actually hear, so the more you know, I guess. So I was kind of disappointed it didn't have any, but at the same time, Nocturne has such a minimal story and dialogue, it didn't prevent me from getting into the game. It's not really a thing that
Pretty
needs
much.
voice acting, so I don't really see it as a negative, just something
No,
that's
T has to stream it.
Regardless of that, though, Atlas games have always excelled in their art direction,
And
and
T
Nocturne
said
is
he ain't
no
interested.
exception.
You and T gotta stream it. Not just you.
The tone and gives you a lot of cool stuff to look at, so it just be real nice. Now, if it isn't already obvious, I really like Nocturne, but I've talked your ear off about the big stuff, so allow me to name a few observations that are a little all over the place, some negative, some positive, so hang tight and listen up, because we're going to be going off for a second. The UI is not the most intuitive thing I've seen. There's a lot of back and forth in menus for basic things like checking your party's abilities and crap. Also, you can't check their stuff in battle when switching out demons, so it just feels like creature roulette all the time. You think I have everyone's stuff memorized, Atlas? I got new demons coming up yin-yang non-stop, so it'd be nice to see those deeds, thank you. As useless as the following minigame in the Labyrinth of Amala is, I really like it because it makes you feel really, really underground, which adds to the atmosphere and the anxiety once you realize you have no idea how to get out of this place, so that's fun. Why the demi-theme the only one who can use items in combat? Makes stuff kind of complicated sometimes. I got all these cool items I never touch because I gotta think about my priorities of not dying. I like how there's just a lot of open space, you know? There's a ton of rooms and extra floors you never really have to go to. They're just kind of there. So the world actually feels like a world, not some planned out adventure map where everything has a purpose. It also adds to the mystery part of the game, so that's neat. Nocturne can be a little bit of a grind fest. Personally, I don't
Nah,
mind
both of y'all got to.
once I get into the game, but I never felt safe enough to find as you go through.
You've already played it, so it's not gonna be fun when you get to the Matador.
So I took the safe route a lot and escaped like every battle,
Someone's
solved
just
the puzzle,
gonna have
and
to
just
get
grinded
T to
near
play
joint
it.
points and saved. Although later in the game, I got
And like I told niggas, if they can't beat the Matador, they might as well give up. Because they ain't beat the game if they ain't beating the Matador.
But then again, what JRPG isn't? And that's about it. I'm sure there's other stuff that has escaped my mind, but hey, if you got something, let me know in the comments. Lord knows we got a few things rolling around in our heads. Moving on. Now, even though Nocturne can be a very polarizing experience for people, I know where my personal experience lies. I got into Shin Megami Tensei pretty late in my life. They are games my parents would have never let me touch the textbook full growing up because the devil be scary and crap, but considering their difficulty curve and mature themes, I'm glad I've gotten to them as an adult so I can appreciate them for what they are. Nocturne has its old school roots. It's punishing punishing and demanding, but it's also different and interesting. No, the game is not for everyone, but that's kind of a good thing. Some games shouldn't strive to be all-pleasing and accessible because it dilutes ideas that could be loved by a neglected minority rather than just tolerated by the majority. Niches need to exist to keep ideas fresh, to create something weird, and eventually over time perfected to the point it becomes the new trendsetter. Nocturne is a good game that tested my patience and made me check a few
He
controllers,
said
but
he
after getting
hasn't. He's
through it, I
played
want to play it
Strange
again to see
Journey.
how I've improved as a player, along with playing other
Oh?
SMT spin-offs that Nocturne helped to pave the way for. It's not perfect and it's no masterpiece, but it's a game that only really gets credit nowadays for being difficult. But that's because it was the start of something new in the West, and people just didn't have the tools.
Reminder, there's a nigga in
appreciate
Digital
it like they
Devil
can
Saga
now.
named
The internet
Heat.
just be wild like that. But I hope this video showcases why it's worth giving a shot, because it's one of those games you just gotta try, even if it's only for a little bit. Shin Megami Tensei
No, I'm not
is
Jasmine's
available on
stepfather. I'm not
PlayStation
watching
and
Guy
PlayStation
Fieri.
3 on the PlayStation Network store for $10. You want to use your dark body to beat the living snot out of Dante for the Devil May Cry series?
What?
Go for it, kiddo. You got my
Nothing.
A-OK all the way. And anyone who gives you
I mean,
crap
don't he have a
for
Guy
things out of
Fieri
their own
cookbook
ways
in
and,
there?
God forbid, actually trying new things.
Probably,
and
I don't
eat my
know.
big, buttery,
I could have
fat,
swore I saw it one time when we were looking in a
video.
cabinet
I
one
want to give a
day.
special thank you to Antlion Audio for sending me a Mod Mic 5 review package to test out. This is for their new line of attachable microphones.
Work doesn't stop coming in when managers aren't at their desk. But with Paycom's new manager on the go on their smartphone, they can make the most of that time by taking care of essential tasks involving their employees anywhere, anytime, including
You playing Strange Journey. That's an SMT game. That's not a spin-off.
their schedule.
Warning! The following video is rated M for
Digital Devil Saga is
If you're
a
young, you shouldn't watch this.
spin-off.
Viewer discretion is advised, but hey,
Devil Survivor is a spin-off. Persona's a spin-off. You know how many spin-offs SMT has?
So Digital Devil Saga 1 came out in 2004, and everyone was like, the game received mostly positive reviews from the handful of people who actually bothered to play it. After not selling so hot in the motherland, the game ended up catching some traction in 2005 when it came out in the West, giving the hungry hardcore JRPG fans something hunky and mature they could sink their teeth into. Being a spin-off of Atlus's Shin Megami Tensei mainline series, Digital Devil Saga was meant to expand the new depressing ground established by 2003's SMT3 Nocturne. You know, the game you've heard is so crushingly difficult and looks like Persona, but you're not really sure why. But by using the foundation,
That don't work.
Digital Devil Saga,
I want you and T to stream it, because I want T to see how he reacts to the Matador buffing and one-shotting the whole party.
Atmosphere turned plot out the window and got down and dirty with cutscenes and voice acting.
Are you sad? What is that?
Now, the title was ambitious for Atlus at the time, so instead of trying to shove a 75-hour-long cinematic JRPG onto a single disc, the development team had the foresight to split the game in half, with Digital Devil Saga 2 coming out only a few months later. And while Digital Devil Saga 1 is really only the first part of the tale, it didn't stop it from being praised on its own merit as a worthy addition to the SMT series, so it's widely regarded as a cult classic. And it stayed that way because it's lived under Persona's massive shadow girth sense. You know, the other SMT spin-off, but not really anymore. I don't even know what it is. But it doesn't matter, because nothing's escaping that two-ton tidal wave, let me tell you. But if you're new to Digital Devil Saga 1, here's the basic rundown with tips, tricks, and heads up for people who don't know about this game. So you play as the silent, serious serf, the leader of the zesty, orange-wearing embryons, one of the 6 militaristic-like tribes residing in a dark, damp, and dystopic place called the Junkyard. One day, while crying in mud, the embryons go to investigate the sudden appearance of a giant squid egg in the junkyard, but are attacked by their neighborhood frenemies, the Vanguards. While
I'm
the
going to
tribes
bed. This nigga
slap
talking
each
about his
other with
shit.
bullets and reenact the Matrix, the squid egg gets bored and explodes.
No one wants to know. I'm gonna time him out again.
Transforming them into demons. And this sudden phenomenon causes the embryons to black out, go psycho, and eat everyone on the battlefield. After after waking up from their food baby nap, the embryons discover a girl named Sarah in the squid egg, so they decide to take her back to their base before she pokes an eye out with those things. The gang then goes to visit these surviving traumatized vanguards to figure out why
Oh,
they
God.
have stylish fallen tattoos, but they quickly discover they can control their demon powers as long as they devour others when hungry. So after coming to terms with their new diet and lost humanity, Surf and the other tribe leaders are summoned to talk to the head honchos of the junkyard at the Karma Temple, where you get stared down for being fashionably late.
But he looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him.
The Karma Temple lads don't seem to know what the heck is going on either, but it doesn't matter though, because they are suddenly overwritten by a mysterious entity known as Angel, who says some truly terrifying things.
Alright fam, it's Angel here. So I went to Burger King the other day and I got a one of their
What?
About to go to bed. That's what. Don't do that.
Regardless, so all in
Don't
all, I think
do
it's
that.
a good day. How's everybody? How's it going, campers?
I love clamps.
Hello, baby.
Talk about how's it going, campers.
Y'all, we're gonna talk about an older JRPG. We're gonna do it right. So I brought in someone who is obsessed with the genre, Mr. Clemps from YouTube.com/Mr. Clemps. Like, favorite, and subscribe, please. Now shut up, because he's gonna talk now.
Hey there, guys. The name's Clemens. You may remember me from season 5 of Home and Away.
Bun says shut up.
I have a burning
Now shut up so he can
genre,
talk.
and this passion has not dampened since I was a wee baby child playing Final Fantasy IX in my diapers. It's also ruined
I
my
love
life.
Clemens.
Box, I lost my hair. Please send help getting on topic. This
You
game
talk
is
about in
definitely
his
what I would
diapers.
consider a hidden gem franchise. So when I was approached by the butteriest of buns on her hands and knees begging me to assist in this mammoth task, well, how could I refuse such a darling friend? Michael Silver!
What? He came up with another account.
Yes.
And the only way forward
because you and you're talking about your poop that no one wants to hear about.
the Nirvana will only open if the tribe has the black-haired girl. So, the gang, composed of Surf and his demonic form Surferoff, Agrilla, the Grill, Heat and his delightfully warm personality, Gale, the human personification of binary code, Cielo, who's just happy to be here, and Sarah, who is
What
actually...
rules?
So the embryons strategize a way to take down the other tribe so they can ascend to space heaven or whatever, in hopes of finding the answers to their new demon powers, Sarah's origins, and why everyone's irises keep doing that thing. But along the way, you'll meet apathy by girlfriends,
Scurrying boys,
destroying your foes with logic and reason,
the 80s comeback,
rabies gone bright, excessive staring,
actual raw,
nocturne assets, clamps, those are mouth moves, repeating textures, being extra super duper sad,
grabby hands,
Carnival Cruise Lines, choose fun, choose Carnival,
cheekless pants,
geometry, the color gray, like a lot of it, JavaScript tutorials, killer starfish, overly detailed doors, sporadic emotions,
it's a bird, it's a plane.
it's soup.
So there will be thrills, chills, and even tears. I actually found myself caught off guard by how much this story would impact me and reduce me to an actual baby at points. But on that note, emotion is a key theme and mystery within this title. It took me a couple of hours to understand exactly what was going on and why characters were suddenly going through big personality shifts, but when it clicked, I was always excited to see how this would later affect the rest of our cast.
Now, one thing you should know is that while there are other Shin Megami Tensei games that folks will beat you over the head with, fear not. You do not need to know anything about the series in order to play Digital Devil Saga. It is an independent, easy-to-enter, streamlined JRPG with one brass knuckle on its pinky, but the world is a place wrapped and deep-fried in mystery and seasoned to the brim with foreshadowing, so don't panic if not everything is spoon-fed to you out the gate. It's got more layers than a supreme nacho dip platter, and God, I gotta stop writing these when I'm hungry. But just know, yes, there are reasons for that, and that. But of course, Digital Devil Saga 1 is only the
But
first half of the
why?
whole plot, and while the title is a satisfying experience on its own, if you want answers and real closure, then Digital Devil Saga 2, aka Digital Devil Saga Part 2, is where all those loose ends get tied up and thrown into the sun.
Now, the game's plot isn't something which will send you off in every direction. It's a pretty straightforward straight line to the finish. However, you do have the option to throw some spice in the mix with the dialogue options that pop up every now and then. These options can affect later events in the story, but before you projectile spray feces down your leg like a scared puppy, they really aren't that high. If you want the best possible result, however, keep this in mind. Whoever coined the phrase first to first is a big city club, because going to the first dialogue option will lead to overall better results. Just don't panic and go for the ones which scream, I am the best before. No pressure, ladies.
Oh god, these ads.
So, JRPG is a term for
Alright, yeah, I'm getting off.
Love you.
Love you too, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Chat, like I'm not about to text you till I pass out anyway.
Yeah, for like 2 minutes.
5 minutes, thank you very much. What is this nigga Julius going through?
Why?
Because his profile picture on PSN is a dude with a sock on his head, with SpongeBob's sock on his head, and a gun.
That's
No, you
concerning.
remember that one time they were trying to break Mrs. Puff out of jail? So they were trying to get in the jail, and he goes to the bank. He's like, "All right,
I
put the
remember.
money in the bag.
Yes,
Put it in."
I'm saying for that to be his profile picture, that's concerning. Oh, the killer rage quit. Nice. No reason. I'm just messing with my buddy Chris. Because he's being a clown in the chat. Nothing bad. Damn it. Dozer ain't messing with you, girl. Yeah, I'm just messing with Chris. Just because it's funny to see his reaction when I time him out. Sometimes. think this will be my last match. Probably not. I might get blue beetles, but other than that, really no. Blue beetle and green arrow are like the only other two that I want to get. I just don't have motivation to grind injustice like that. Yeah, that's the only problem. Why? Hers actually isn't that bad, but it is a lot of work. Yeah, I feel that. That's what took the longest. I think it took me like 2 months to get it. And that was just back when I was actually grinding moon. They really do, and it feels like it shouldn't even take as long as it does. And to think it used to be 7,000 minutes? Like, no, that's too much. Right, that's how I felt when I was going for, I think when I was going for Wonder Woman's and, Wonder Woman's and Catwoman. And Starfire. Oh, sweet. Alright, let's see, I'm gonna do... He does, I'm gonna do one more so I can level up. He does, but his are only like 1,000 minutes. Same with Beetle. I think I got those done already though. But, the problem with Blue Beetle is that I have to do the 200 guild events, which is a lot. So I've been working on his for about a year now. Yeah. His legendary is too good not to do it, though. Might pick up Aquaman. I mean, he's not bad. Yeah, that's fair.